Hey, this is Kineer. Welcome to a Dune Awakening watch party. Starting a little early here. Actually, we're going to jump into the Dune Awakening developers live stream in a couple of minutes. I've got that kind of over in the background. We're going to check that out. But first, I wanted to talk about the announcement in advance about the rewards that are going to be happening for the next month. So welcome to the stream. Again, this is Kineer. You can find me on YouTube at Kineer, on Twitch/Kineer Kai. That last part is K-A-I-K-I-N. Eerkai. Spelling is hard for me. Anyway, depending on where you watch, you can watch where you like to watch. So subscribe, like, all that other good stuff. You know how YouTube works. It's been a hot minute since I've been playing Dune. I played a little bit offline. Last time we did the Wind Pass and the Old Quarry and all that other good stuff. We are past chapter 2, past chapter 3, and the last thing they just updated was what they said were the last parts of the original, let's say, deluxe package, original purchase package, that kind of thing. So we're wrapping up here. You know, we've come back around. It's kind of hard to believe that it's been a full year since this game was released. It's been a lot of fun, a lot of changes, and you know, a little bit of controversy here and there about you know, what's going on with PvP and PvE in the deep desert, but it looks like they've finally found an approach that they think is going to work for them long term, and they can kind of get back to their overall rollout of the game. So, so what I want to talk about first is the huge rewards that they have for the next month. I think at this point in time, they just put this out earlier today. And, you know, I think they're going to talk about this in the live stream, so I'm not going to go into all the details here. We're going to just kind of crawl through this real fast and then take a quick break and wait for the live stream to start. But this link is in the description on this video, and they're talking about their 1-year anniversary and the things that they're going to offer to us. And so we've got about a month of this. I think they're going to break it down week by week. You can see here, this is week 1, where we can get access to this tea house countertop, and these are like decorations and a set of armor, light armor, cosmetic variant for the master operative, which is pretty cool looking as well. And then they're going to set up a series of rewards that I think tie into the Landsrad, which is nice. And I've really had a lot of fun over the past couple of weeks jumping into the Landsrad, the new Landsrad, right? The chapter 3 stuff that was rolled out quite some time ago. But they're gonna kind of layer this on top of it, try to drive engagement, drive people into it, and, you know, get people who maybe haven't tried it to come back in. Anyway, so week 1, we're gonna get these counter set pieces, the master operative light armor, which they just showed us up above. Next week, more tea house parts, so like some more decorations and things like that. I do put decorations out into my houses, although they're not super functional, you know, but they look nice. They've got really good designers. And let's see, table tea settings, final decorative elements, and a mural and a ballast set, which is a musical instrument of some. That's it right there. Okay, there you go. So there's a ballast set. So, you know, you're going to get some furnishings just for, I think, just for logging in and playing. I don't think there's going to be, I don't know that any of these are going to be tied to Twitch, which is cool. So like you don't have to sit and watch, you don't have to watch streamers, you know, you can just kind of come in and play. And here's the schedule they have out here. So they're laying on top of this boosted progression weekends. So starting just in a very short couple of days, double faction reputation. So if you don't have your faction reputation up, or you've started a new character on a new server, good opportunity to kind of push up and get into action there. Double house script rewards. So if you're working the Landsrad activities, a lot more script that allows you to upgrade weapons and armor and things like that if you're progressing. And then June 26th, double specialization XP. Great time to push up the progression on the different specializations. I think I'm still at the start of that. You know, I've got, you know, 15 or 16 in 1 or 2 areas, and a bunch of them are low. People have been really pushing those up. And then double Landsrad dungeon loot. That's pretty cool as we get up to July 3rd through the 6th. And this is this seems kind of important to me. Each boost runs from Friday morning through Monday morning, giving players an extended window. And what did they say here? This was the thing that jumped out at me. They're going to top off everyone's mnemonic recollections at 35 for the start of the weekend event. So I'm thinking what that means is that Friday morning they're going to top you off and give you 35. You could just crank through 35 Landsrad missions and get all the benefits of that during these boost weekends, which, you know, I'm not sure what that means. So that should mean like Tuesday morning you get another reset. So That's like two resets a week the way I read this. So like you could be, if you're playing during the week, you could be racking up at the normal rate, not boost, but you could be racking up normal benefits as far as script and specialization XP and things like that. That's pretty cool. Anyway, that's pretty nice. So some free stuff for the 1 year anniversary. Oh, they're also discounting the game. So if you have any friends who aren't playing yet, and you want to bring them in, 40% discount on Steam. And I haven't really dug into the self-hosting as much. That still looks like a huge hardware footprint, from my opinion. And given the price of RAM and things like that, that's a little more challenging. But they did recently announce that in September, we can look forward to consoles and a single-player version of the game, which is going to be interesting to see as far as I'm concerned. I'm fascinated by this idea that they're going to have a single-player version of the game. I mean, I don't know how it's going to be. I don't know if that's what I'm going to play, but the idea that you could do it is, I think it's worth trying. I will definitely give it a shot. Especially if they will let me start a new character or do something like that. That'd be pretty cool. Because they did talk about taking it to more of a character focused experience. So if you have a character, you can move them maybe between different types of gameplay. I don't think they're going to let anybody go from private or single player up to public, but maybe if you had a full public character on a public server, you could take them down to your own private server or to a single player game. So that's it. I think this is the announcement. That's interesting. Oh, I think that's my browser in the background. Let me go ahead and switch over to that. Looks like they are going to start soon on the live stream. Now they're marking it at 15 minutes. I'm going to switch this over. Give me just a second here. Let's switch this over here. And then I think I'm going to take a quick break and go find some water real quickly and stock up, and I'll be back in just a few minutes. Okay, let me see if we're back here. Very cool. Hey, we're going to take a couple seconds here while we're waiting. It looks like they're actually going to push back past the top of the hour, which is fine. So I'm going to look at the previous announcement here, which I do want to see. I may have to mute this one. What I'd like to find is... this is the boosted progression weekend stuff. CommunityNet. Let's find the news here. It just did this not too long ago. Console, single player. This is what I want to see. So this was just announced a few days ago. Let me go ahead and turn this down a bit. And we have an update we can watch right here.
The past has you. You think that who you were defines who you are.
My staggers.
That's the trap. You are somebody.
I've been watching.
Still a beautiful world.
Stumble through the blood and sand.
Okay, we've been there.
Are the hidden hand.
There you go. There's the day. September 22nd. September's going to be great this year.
Arrakis is the key. You have one task. Find the Fremen.
I can relate.
Feels like we always end up here. You bleeding to further our cause.
It's Ari.
The future is a trap.
Single player.
I want to be free.
I'm fascinated.
Prepare yourself.
I want to know how they're going to do the Landsrad with single player.
He who can destroy a thing has the real control of it.
Very cool. PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S. I can't complain about that. That is absolutely wonderful. So, like I was saying, I'm not really sure how they're going to do the Landsrad, right? Because right now, I play both on public, which is a full-blown public server, and after the migrations, there's a lot of people out in the deep desert. There's lots of activity. There's plenty of things going on. Hey, Sir Styles, nice to see you. And so that's kind of a vibrant, it's almost like it was in the early days. It's not as crowded, but it's still pretty solid. I still have a private server game, and you can't really complete Landsrad on there because there just aren't enough people playing to even win a single square. Like, to get 70,000 points as an individual is very challenging, and so those private servers are kind of trapped. You can't really participate in a Landsrad, which is kind of crazy, but it is what it is. So when they do single player, they have to do something to bridge that gap, right? So they have to do something that will allow the Landsrad to still advance and for you to close out, win in some way, shape, or form. Otherwise, they're going to lock you out of all the in-game content as a single player. And I assume as a single player, they're going to let you do anything and everything you want to do. Like, they're going to give you access to everything. So how are you today, Sir Styles? I think I switched over to a different thing here. That's the console stuff. Let me switch this back over to where we were. They have this all on the same page? News, patch notes. This is the one we were looking at today. These are the new updates. I wonder how much of this stuff is available like the moment you get in there. Especially like this cosmetic stuff. I wonder if they're just going to automatically drop that on your character. That whole mess around Chapter 2's drop was kind of disappointing. I think it was Chapter 2, but they dropped all the different different specialization attire. And you could literally drop it on the floor of your base and lose it forever. Let's live in the dream, not mine, but someone else's. Aren't we all? Well, they're running a little late today, so I don't know how long this thing's going to go. You know, I definitely wanted to tune in and see what's going on. I did. You know, it's funny. I had purposely have the browser kind of smaller over there because I don't want to watch the chat on their stream. I tuned in early and there were a bunch of people just people who don't like the game that decided they would join that chat over there and complain about it. I don't know what's going on. It's this game still gets attention from people who are mad about what happened literally in the first month, but I think it keeps getting better. You know, these guys are I think they definitely took a few steps in the wrong direction. I think by their own admission. It's not like I'm not calling them out on something they haven't said, but you know, they didn't know what they didn't know, I guess is the story, right? And there's been a lot of positive developments, I think, over the past couple of months. I was unsure because I got, you know, pulled aside or pulled away for some, you know, personal stuff for a while. The chapter 3 stuff I didn't get to jump into until recently, and I love it. I think it's great. I do notice that if you're really trying to grind it, like if you're trying to do a lot of it at once, it can get repetitive. But that's, you know, if I take my time, it all fits together kind of nicely, and there's things to do, and I like that. And you know, I've been able to find lots of gear. There's still lots of gear I haven't picked up, and I'm just scratching the surface on the specializations, and some of those are really nice. Some of those are fun. I like the idea that they're now putting in these boosted weekends too. Yeah, I think that's going to be the difference. The difference is going to be, you know, can they let you play it all single player, right? And I think they can. I think there's ways to do it. I think I have to imagine that when they redid the Landsrad, they had that in mind as well, that they were clearly thinking ahead. So I just don't know how it's going to play out. Like I said, I enjoy my private server because it is, I swear, I go out there in the deep desert and there'll be like 5 medium spice blooms, and then the large one will be over there too, and I have all the spice I could stand. Because it's, you know, they're not going to consolidate much either, right? Because everybody's paying for their own server. So there's just a handful of people that show up and everybody's pretty cordial. But on the single player, I think that's a really nice option, especially after looking at the self-hosted hardware footprint. I would love to do a self-hosted server. I do that on lots of other games, but the hardware footprint just looks ridiculous. I think they did a developer live stream not too long ago, and they had one of their in-house people who had done it, and you know, I think just to get Haga Basin up, and the Overland map was 30 gig of RAM in a machine. And if you wanted the deep desert up at the same time without a tremendous amount of swapping, you had to go above 40 gig. So now you're talking about putting 64 gig of RAM in a machine at a point in time where the AI data centers are sucking up every stick of RAM on the planet. So single player is going to be a nice relief. I assume it'll just swap things in and out anyway. It'll run similarly, but I'm also not 100% confident they'll make their September deadline. I hope they make their September deadline for the console releases. Like, that's as a priority. Single player would be nice at the same time frame, but I would much rather see this get in the hands of people who are on consoles and want to play. And I assume that's their priority as well. But I can see the future in this, at least, that if they keep going down this path, if they think these are achievable goals, they'll keep selling copies of it. Because they're still not charging, you know, they're not charging much, they're not charging anything. Although we'll see what the next DLC's like, what the pricing is on it, how well it does. Because the DLCs were largely cosmetics, right? So it's a pretty good question as to whether those are going to get people's attention or not. Okay, looks like we're down to 10 seconds. Let's see if they kick it up. I'll put this full screen and get rid of this other thing in a minute.
Hello, Dune Awakening community. Welcome on our anniversary live.
Let's go!
For the game. It's the first one, first of many. I'm Camille, I'm the senior lead community dev, and it's my pleasure to also welcome some of the returning faces on our show today. Joel, our chief creative officer, and Ule Andreas, the production director.
We'll get all that
Gentlemen,
stuff out to the
How
side.
are you doing?
Obviously, today is a party here at Funcom.
I can
That's
see
what I
that.
want.
good.
Let's try and get
I'm
full screen. I don't want all that stuff off to the
Well
side.
prepared for the party? No.
We've been
So-
celebrating all day.
We've been celebrating all day. There was cake earlier. My blood sugar spiked. I had to have a sleep afterwards. I might have to go see a doctor about my type 2 diabetes soon. But no, doing well so far. I have enough energy to get through a
Joel,
live
take
stream.
care of
It's gonna be
yourself.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. And now it's out, so we're gonna
Nice.
dive into some.
good. Oh, and
content.
I'm so excited because today we can talk about stuff,
Yeah,
actually.
it's been quite tricky last
Please,
time.
tell us the
We've been
secrets,
here-
brothers.
Or you were here with Tasha, since we had to be quite tight-lipped.
Yeah.
On
It was like last live stream we did, we were like, hey, can we talk about any future stuff? Well, you can't mention the console stuff. And you can't mention like the polar caps. And you can't talk about like single player stuff.
Oh, tell us
You're
about
like,
polar
oh,
caps.
Okay. What's this live stream going to be about? We'll find out. We'll go. So this one's going to be, we can actually talk about stuff.
Absolutely,
Nice.
and this one's gonna be more laid back. It's more chill since I'm here as well. And yeah, before we're gonna dive into all of the anniversary that is happening right now, talk more about the console release, the single player mode, and some of the upcoming updates. There is something else we wanna start with, because coming into this live stream, we knew we wanted to also spice things up, do something else, and we thought that, hey,
Oh,
maybe
they
it
would
would be
spice it
cool,
up.
if all of us together would design a tattoo that will be then added into the game to celebrate the first Dune Awakening anniversary. So to make this happen, we also have another colleague that is joining us during today's live stream, Caroline, our character concept artist.
/ tattoo
How
artist.
are you?
Hello, I'm doing good, thank you.
That's awesome. Well, first of all, thanks for agreeing to even do this live on air. I cannot imagine how stressful it might be. But yeah, if you could maybe introduce yourself, tell everyone a little bit more. What do you do at Funcom? How long you've been?
I like how they gave her a bunch of
Us,
extra monitors in the
everyone
background so they could put up
appreciate it.
images of the game.
Yeah, sure. Hi, I'm Caroline. I'm a character concept artist here at Funcom. I've been here for 3 years working on Dune, and I do mainly characters and costume, but I've also designed most of our in-game tattoos, which is what I'll be doing today.
Well, perfect person to have to do the job that is needed. But
The real question is whether Joel will get the
tell
tattoo for
everyone
real.
how they will be able to participate, what they will be
Are they
voting
committed
for.
or not?
Yeah, so we've picked out 4 themes for you guys to choose from. The first one is Shai Hulud. Then we have Muad'Dib. The third one is Trials of Akul. And then we also have Spice Dream. So we'll set up a poll for you, and then you'll pick one of these. And then I'll be designing a tattoo based on that. And then by the end of the stream, you guys will be able to see my sketches for the theme you picked, and we'll be choosing one that I'll be developing further. That will end up in game.
Yeah, so the polls should be going live momentarily if they're not already there on Twitch and YouTube. So go
I'm not
ahead,
voting.
cast your vote. We're gonna have them open for a couple of minutes, and after that, Caroline will start designing this. So can you maybe show us a little bit more how that process will actually look like?
Yeah, sure. So I can just show you my screen here. As you may be able to see, I'm going to be painting directly on our 3D model. I can show you an example of something I've done before. So this is a sleeve and a neck tattoo that I did previously. Well, this is a final design. We'll not be doing a final design today, but we'll be doing a loose sketch in black and white. Yeah, so this is my typical workflow. I'll basically just be doing a neck or face tattoo, maybe both, we'll see. I'll probably try a few different things, and I'll just be painting directly onto the model like this. I already have a huge mood board ready, so I'm ready to start sketching.
Okay, so in a process like this where you will basically have a singular prompt on the tattoo, how are you gonna go about, starting from the blank state?
Yeah, so the first step is always doing research, which I've already done. I've gathered references and images of inspiration. And then
Well, they're all
I
four
usually start
topics that are
writing.
already in the game, so that's not
my
really a
first
big deal.
sketches
So
typically aren't pretty good. It's just about getting ideas out of my head, and then
Trials
as
of
I get
Akil,
into a
Muad'Dib.
flow, my ideas.
Muad'Dib's
develop
the
into
mouse,
something
I
more
think,
concrete,
isn't it?
And then I end up with something that's tangible, and then we can go from.
that's pretty cool.
Okay, awesome. I'm getting a word from our production, aka Ignacy, that the results from the poll are in. Let me
That was
just
fast.
get that information to shouting, yeah.
Shai Hulud by a long shot.
Shai Hulud by a long shot. Well, there we go. You guys clearly know what you want.
58 and 47%.
58, 47% respectively on Twitch and YouTube. Okay, there is no questions there. So Caroline will basically take that in and start drafting, sketching, doodling a few options for us. Once again, it's not gonna be close to a final product. What we wanna get at the end of the show, it's something that you guys will
No
able to
pressure.
vote on again, that we will flesh out further, and at a later stage, we'll show you the two final options again, and let
Okay,
the other
guys.
community
Enough
as well
tattoo talk.
vote on which
Tell us
one
about
of
the polar
those
caps.
will be added into the game at the earliest.
Oh, I just saw your comment there,
opportunity.
Sir Styles.
Uh,
Be hilarious to see it
after
delayed and released when
production
GTA
will allow
releases.
us to do this.
Oh, that would be fascinating.
So without, yeah, I'm looking directly at Ule Andreas
I was
here.
personally hoping
Like
Spice
screaming into the
that's all fucked
hurricane.
up and we could
Yeah.
take some we could take some LSD and figure that one out, but no, not
That
this
would be
time.
very interesting. How
Sounds like a
how we
different
can
live
depict
stream.
it.
Very different live stream, yeah.
That's for our subscribers later, on our Patreon.
Moving to you now.
Yeah, you can definitely move to me. So Caroline, thanks very much. You can start your work. We will.
She's so
look
patient.
and
She's
check
like, "Can
in
you
on
guys
your
just turn the
progress
camera off so I can get to
throughout the
work?"
show.
Gavin will be inlated to art direct. And
I'm sure she has ideas all,
It'll be
all
good.
sketched out already anyway.
Okay, so let's get on with the live stream. Anniversary has started today. It's June 10th, not counting the head start that lets some players play 5
That's
days
right.
in
I started on
advance.
June 5th, I believe.
And we have some in-game celebration happening right now. So for anyone logging in between now and July 10th, we will be giving out some in-game cosmetic items for free. Ignacy, you can maybe start showing what we're having for
the tea
people.
set.
Obviously, one of them is this Contemplation Tea House set that consists of the counters, sofa, stool, tea service with a table, body set, and wall relief. So basically everything that you can see on the screen.
There are actually
What
things
they've
on the
won,
dishes
so,
too,
well,
which is
some
kind of
luxurious
interesting.
holiday to Arrakis, staying in the finest apartment with the coffee and tea set.
Oh, some spiced tea there.
Some spiced tea, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
it
sorry.
definitely
Yeah.
looks amazing.
It just reminds me of like the old game shows where they were like, show them what they've won. Well, this couple will be going on an exciting tour. No, this is great.
I'm
This
kind
is
of
cool
curious
stuff.
how that one
Our
piece
team knows
hangs
what
from the
they're
ceiling.
Really
doing.
nice.
Is it the
I'm not
split
sure how
coffee
that's
set
going to
from
work.
the-
because
Is this how we get our water in Arrakis? Is how we make
part
coffee?
of it.
Yeah, yeah.
Part of it,
yeah,
for
yeah.
sure.
But I don't think we get all this in the first
guys,
week.
I love it. There's no questions about that. But obviously, deep inside, I have a question. Will we ever get something with more Harkonnen aesthetics to it?
Yes.
At some point, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
I
At
think
some
that
point.
would make the 5
Okay.
Harkonnen players very, very happy, including myself. No, there's definitely more of us
Oh, come on.
out there.
Come on. I'm rolling with the Baron aesthetic in my life, so I feel like it's
You're in,
I'm an Atreides, so
as
I can't.
there's this weird progression on Dune that the more we do live streams, the fatter and bolder I'm going to get, and eventually I'm just going to be floating into the room for the start of the live streams.
I think at that
Because-
point we're gonna be able to
Exactly.
create some suspense for you, right?
Oh,
So
that's
I'm,
gonna
I'm
be
going
nice.
with the Baron.
You'll
But
come
yeah,
in.
there should be more Harkonnen stuff. We've talked about it quite a bit. That like a lot of the marketing stuff that we've been giving the marketing team to give out is like Atreides themed. And that's probably just because we made a lot of that early on, right? So we have, we'll get to the Harkonnen stuff.
Awesome.
Trust the man in the pointy hat.
Trust the man in the pointy hat.
we
Can we have a pointy
all
hat in the
information
game? That'd be
point
great.
blank. It's guaranteed. You can quote us on this. But besides the T-set, there's
there you go.
also
There's the outfit.
Master Operative of the Dunes. This is the light armor variant,
Like
which
that's
you can
over East
actually
Familius
get today, right? The rest of the rewards will be given out on a weekly basis. So basically every week you will get additional pieces on the T-set added automatically to your collection. So you don't have to do anything, you just need to log in, play the game. They will automatically appear either in your customization menu or in your construction
That's what I
menu,
wanted to know.
in the decoration section.
No drops, nothing in
So
your
we
inventory. They're
basically
just
have
in the
that,
menu.
But on top of it,
That's the way to go.
we also got
That original approach was a
a
wreck.
set of boost progression weekends for the next 4 weeks, each of them focusing on a different area. Everything will be doubled. So June 12, 15, we have the faction reputation, 19 to 22nd, house script rewards, 26, 29th, the specialization XP, and then July 3rd to 6th, we will double the Landstrat dungeon loot. For the first 3 weeks, you can also expect
I feel like I have tons
that
of house
we
script
will
anyway.
top up everyone's mnemonic recollections to 35. So at the start of the progression weekend, regardless of how many charges you had, you will have the full 35 so that you can actually enjoy and get as much advantage from
So
that.
coming up to Friday, run them all down, use them all up. They'll reset them on Friday, and then you get them for the weekend again. That's pretty good. It's like 70 a week if you put the time in. That's a lot.
I know it's a special occasion.
Oh, this is pretty
We've
good.
been
I like
doing
this.
Some weekend boosts. We've been
Now we
doing
can
some
see.
community challenges.
So we should get the
What do you guys think we can expect?
the furniture
in the future? Is that
pieces.
something we're gonna be seeing regularly happening? Is there
Sofa.
any particular cadence that
I'll
you
put it
guys are
back. Put it
thinking
back.
about
I'll have to
doing?
go back and find that picture.
Yeah, I think like our plan is to try and do. So there's like different types of events, right? We have these community events, we have these buff events or boost events as we're calling them, and then there's kind of themed content events, like something like the one we did with the Chome guns last year, right?
okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
For
So
chapter
like
2, I mean.
yeah, so which we did, for chapter 2. So the idea is to kind of have one of these events maybe every month, right? In the long term. Not right now because we're still very focused on getting the console and single player stuff done. But in the long term, moving towards more like that. And then how often we would have the unique content events will depend on how expensive they are to produce. But we have some ideas already. I'm already working on some pretty cool ideas for that. Which I can't talk about yet, sadly, but going to be cool if we can get it
The
done.
Chome guns
And then,
thing did not go over that
Yeah, and then
well, I
we'll
don't
see.
remember.
But like I
Or
think
I seem to
monthly
recall.
roughly is where we'd be trying to have events.
I mean, I thought it was
Yeah.
fun,
And
but
obviously
it
some
was
of these,
kind of glitchy.
There's different cadence to different events.
Yes.
So the boost events will be on a more regular basis, and then the community challenges, less regular, but still fairly regular. And then you'll have the more elaborate events that will be also on a regular basis cadence, but
Yes.
not every weekend or week. but
Right.
More
And at
months.
the same time, we've been also trying to work on making sure that the visibility on those events is
Yes.
better in game, right? For the last time, we had the notifications, which were kind of coming on screen every single time you zone in between the maps. It's not supposed to be happening anymore, right? For the next one.
Should be fixed in the next one. Yeah.
Should be fixed, fingers crossed. So that's gonna be really cool, but there is a lot of plans of making
Quick
sure
update from Carolyn.
that everyone is informed whenever something is happening, and that we can run different types of the boost weekends, focusing on different things, not only the same stuff over and over again, right?
And for the future beyond console launch, we'll keep evolving the events and how we notify people and the information people can gather in the game about the events. So.
Just keep the feedback coming so we can improve.
Precisely, that's your cue. Let us know what you would like.
Keep the feedback coming, which is
And
code
just
for
to make
complain in the
everything
Discord
crystal clear,
or
obviously all of the
encourage them in
rewards
the Discord. How about
are
that?
for all the players globally, so regardless where you play, official servers, private, self-hosted, you will be getting those rewards for yourself. And obviously the boosts, they do work on official servers and private servers. On self-hosted, I mean, you guys can control everything yourself. on that, so you are master of your own Arrakis. But it has
Interesting.
been 1 year on the dot on Arrakis, and it's quite hard because it feels like not so long ago we've been sitting in a war room in the other kind of meeting room, glued to our dashboards, monitoring all of the chatter from the players, looking at all of the content being live streamed, created on YouTube, basically experiencing Dune Awakening through eyes
It's amazing that it's been a
of
year.
many people
For the first time.
for the first time.
Yeah.
Right.
I was kicked out though. I wasn't allowed to be in the.
Yeah,
They don't let the creative people in the war room because we can mess things up.
you've done your job.
Get the
now,
hell out.
now production and live ops and live teams and CS needs to take over and make sure, and community, and make sure that the game runs well. Yeah, War Room is a unique experience, I would say, pretty intense. It's what we call, it was basically we had a call going 24/7. There's always people there. People are on call, working on shifts, making sure that we have coverage, looking at the servers, what the performance is. Some of the Grafana dashboards, which is how we track things, were quite complicated and had a lot of data so that we could track performance on servers, player
Makes sense.
counts, and all of that stuff. It was a once in a lifetime experience, and it was a really cool bonding experience as well for the team, because you're working super closely and you're dealing with problems and fires and issues all the time. Most of these players don't see, hopefully. That's the
Is it
goal.
like a
right?
map of
But we
Arrakis she
try and
has
stay
as a
ahead of them,
paintbrush?
So that's a really cool experience. I can share
Yeah,
tons
I
of
mean,
stories.
Spill the tea, Ole Andreas. It's been a year. I mean, let's share something with the guys. Anything that really stuck out with you from that period?
I mean, it was an intense launch. A lot of servers that we had to open and keep running. I remember waking up at 2 a.m. I was on call, and I got a phone call from some of the people who are monitoring things, saying, "Hey, we need more server capacity." So I was waking up at 2 a.m. a bit groggy, looking at the data, trying to figure out, okay, we need a couple of more worlds in NA, and then one more in EU and one in Oceania, and I'm just there turning on servers that we've already prepped. It's kind of intense, and it feels.
Yeah, I assume they
feels
forked
surreal.
over a lot of cash in the early days
Yeah,
because
it's like a spice dream. at this
ramp it
point.
up. It's all pay as you
Probably
go.
hallucinated that.
For them,
It's yeah, it's very intense.
like I
but
said,
it's
they
also
don't
kind of
charge
cool
us
'cause it's
anything.
you're in the trenches with people that you trust and that you
Yeah.
worked with, and you kind of are like, okay, we got to make rapid decisions here because they can cause, big rippling consequences for the player base and things like that. So it's cool, but it's also, as you said, it's like a bonding experience because you kind of, everyone has.
And
each
some of
other's
that
back and they're
shouldn't
trying
be
to get
new
things
to
done.
them.
Yeah.
Launch
Given
is
the
always
rest of
like
their
on
games.
a multiplayer game. A launch
Coming
like
in.
that is just always, it's painful.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like exciting as well. It's
Unpredictable.
Like there's a buzz and you don't want to sleep and you just kind of let's go.
It's long days, but I mean, it's like a huge orchestra that you're trying to
Yeah.
organize together, right? And it's, months of planning, and then suddenly it happens,
Yeah.
and then it's also at the same time the joy of watching players play.
Yes.
Like finally, we could see live streams of people, even streamers that we really enjoy, love seeing. And on a regular basis, they start playing the game, and we're like, "Oh no, that bug! Oh fuck!"
Yeah.
Or, "Oh, that's awesome!
Didn't
they
we
love
fix
that,
that?"
thing. They found that. That's like an Easter egg that we put in, and they're like, "Oh, they love that." So it's all the.
I hope they were
emotions
seeing the
that
problems that we ran into.
Yeah, I mean, I think you.
They seem to have
guys
fixed
said
quite a
it
bit.
best. It's a very unique and intense experience, right?
Yeah.
And every launch of any game, it's
Yep.
vastly different. Happy anniversary, Mallory 1983. Thank you very much. Okay, so hold on. Let me consult with my notes here. But it's not only about our experiences, right? Players have also been busy. I did try to collect some of the player stats that we can look over.
Cool.
By putting together a very, very basic slides. Don't worry, we will share them in a couple of weeks with you, beautifying them by 100. But there you go. Looking at this, 128,000 players died in sandstorms. I think, relatively modest numbers.
Yeah, that's.
I thought that would be more.
Disappointed in you, Arrakis. I think you could have done better than that. But this is more like my
This
statistics.
is
That one makes a
Yeah.
lot more
I'm a bit
sense.
look at those Muad'Dibs.
Yeah. I mean, I'm quite happy with that. The sad part is that 16,000 of those were Flaming Mojo, from what I understand.
Probably true.
I would not be surprised. Definitely a large number of ornithopters and sand crawlers.
Yeah, Shai-Hulud
with-
has gotten his food.
Yeah. I hope he's not
That's
going
not
to get
bad.
any digestion problems.
Eh.
after this.
I don't think so.
Those are a little.
I find the total
nebulous.
size of player land claims quite interesting. That's why I wanted to put it up. It's a big of a space. To put it into perspective,
Compared
it
to a
is
city?
almost twice the size of Rhode Island, or for our European colleagues, it's almost 5 times the size of Greater London. So you guys have built quite a bit of an empire at this point if we would try to really map it out in the real world, not to mention the number of building pieces that has been used so far.
Impressive.
Bosses
fine,
killed,
3 million
Landstorm missions
bosses.
completed. Obviously, those are the numbers.
11 million Landstorm
after
missions
the chapter
completed.
3. Nothing pre-chapter 3 has been here. So
Oh, that's
also
cool.
Looks like quite popular activity.
Oh wow.
Not quite a
As
billion.
This is only the blood that has been extracted by playing. This doesn't account for dead seals. So
This is
the
just like-
overall number would be.
We should ask
much,
for our
much
friends
higher.
at V Rising to send us over their stats on this
I
and
was gonna
do a bit
say,
of a
yeah.
comparison. Be interesting.
And this is all the Solaris that has been paid in taxes.
Rip
which,
taxes.
Unless you've been living under a rock, obviously taxes are no longer the thing. But, you know, Emperor thanks you.
Emperor got his cut.
You got this. Quite a bit of spice consumed. It just makes me wonder whether we have a drag problem or not.
Oh, it's going to get worse. Don't worry. I have
Should get the
I have
numbers.
big plans around drugs. Don't worry.
Okay, all right.
Should get the numbers from the Schedule 1 developers and see.
Schedule 1, yeah. How much
Gonna
spice?
reach out to all of the different games like, hey, how are things looking on your side? You know?
Comparative
What units of
stats, yeah.
spice is that?
Nice.
Okay, and this
Can't see the
one,
number,
again,
guys.
As I said, I put beautiful slides together. Ignacy, maybe we can put
There
this
you
one
go.
on full screen. Well, thank you very much. So here we have the numbers of bases that have been reconstructed and the characters that have been transferred since with other
Oh,
features
reconstructed.
recently.
Okay.
Shout out to that feature, and I mean Tiago's done
150,000
amazing work on that feature.
characters have been
The
transferred.
base reconstruction tool.
That's actually quite a
It
few.
works super well. I'm so happy with that feature.
Complex. But
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, there were a couple of quirks with it. Obviously, you had some players who ran into very.
Well, there aren't that many
cases.
players on a
I think
server.
right
That's a
now,
huge number.
Most, if not all of them, should have been resolved, right? So all in all, yeah, considering how technically complex all of this is, this been working actually quite.
It's been really
Well.
nice.
Yeah, it's
Like your entire base, as it was when you backed it up, put back in.
Yeah, I had no problems with mine.
Construction,
The migration.
like
I saw
cubes
somebody the other
and
day
everything there.
talking about how
the
they
same
still
space.
hadn't moved. I'm surprised.
was-
Pretty good.
yeah. I mean, it was quite a difficult and complex challenge to solve, right? Like a part of what we were doing with the game was because it was early, it was persistent. We didn't want to do the Fallout 76 thing where your base goes away when you log out. We wanted you to log in and make sure that you always had neighbors. And like Villar and I talked about this pre-launch, and we wanted to make sure
Neighbours.
that people felt like they were part of a community online. So we wanted to make sure people had that. But then, of course, like people losing stuff is never good. So it's
I never talked to my neighbors.
systematically
I see
we've
them.
been going through. I think it's something like that I'm proud of from the development side is that like we've been going through systematically and like looking at the top complaints from players about things in the game, like loss of vehicles, loss of items, loss of bases, blah blah blah, right? Like not being able to log out and leave the game, etc. And we've just been fixing everything one by one as we go. Like this is fixed.
Will they
This is
address
no longer
fueling
a
your
problem.
bases?
Taxes are gone.
That one's-
You know,
people
like-
still complain
and,
about
and
that.
I think that's like been our approach is to like try to make it as easy as possible to play Dune Awakening and not feel bad about playing Dune Awakening, but enjoy Dune Awakening, right? That's been kind of the
that's
key.
really the thing, right?
Yeah, yeah.
We want people to have fun with it.
Yeah.
deal with some of the grind of the survival games,
Yeah.
right? But
Well, I mean, it's still a survival game, and I mean that's always been its heart, right?
Yeah,
so yeah,
absolutely.
for sure. So
I feel Dune Awakening has never been better than what it is today.
Yeah.
It's
And-
really good.
soon to be even better.
yeah,
Exactly.
I mean,
So
come September,
Okay.
everybody will be able to enjoy the absolute
Tell us about
best
the polar
version
caps, man.
yet of Dune Awakening, right? We had this announcement a little over.
If you're just joining, they haven't mentioned the polar caps yet.
Character-centric experience.
They haven't told us anything yet.
Console release. We have the single-player mode. We have the conclusion of book
Here we go.
1 story.
What?
So
Okay, yeah,
kind of
this is the-
everything will be available from start to finish for players.
Scalable
across all
difficulty game
platforms,
customization
not only
on
the
single
console,
player
of
and private.
course, but console players will definitely.
It's gonna open it
benefit
up to a
from
lot of players, I
everything
guess.
That, the team has been working on. And
That
developing
character-centric
for the
experience is
past
very
year.
interesting.
So if we skip over to the next slide, we have a bunch of DLCs that have been added. PvP mode is completely optional now across the board. Bigger end game, better systems.
That's all good.
The private servers as well, obviously, is the case, and some of those mechanics that we have discussed right now. I think on the other slide, we also have a good overview of some of those noteworthy
More contracts,
improvements and
recustomization. Yeah, that's
features
nice.
that we kind of pulled into the game based on what you were saying, Joel.
Yeah.
Responding to feedback.
I like being able to take a storage container out with
how
the
we can
carrier.
improve
That's
it, how we
great.
can make kind of the experience around Dune Awakening better for everyone involved.
Yeah, those are all good.
Right, but yeah, speaking about console, maybe we could play some.
Yep.
What do you guys think?
Okay.
I forgot I was charging the controller here. So
I'm gonna
grab
play.
that, Joel. If you can do us the honors.
Yes, I'll enjoy this. I've been I got my hands on like the beta at home, so I've been playing at home quite a lot. So I'm just gonna start now.
Yeah, if you can show the
And
screen there, Ignacy.
Ignacy, this is great. So,
3 months. 3 months away. That's all we
first
got.
thing that I think people who've been playing this
Work in
on
progress.
PC for a long time might notice is that
PS5.
there's a massive advantage to playing on console, and that is basically there is no shader compilation because we can just include the shader compilation cache, the PSO cache with the console. We know exactly
Cool.
what the hardware does, so we don't have any shader compilation. So it just goes straight into the game.
The beauty of not having to deal with like a million different
And
GPUs.
that's just how it is with Unreal 5 and
Yeah.
lots of PCs and stuff. And we're trying to smooth that out on PC as well. All right, so I'll skip
Yeah.
the cutscene.
I think that's worth mentioning. Like one of the things that we're focusing a lot on now is performance, right, as part of console, and you'll see a massive improvement on that in PC as well. But yeah,
Yep,
So we'll
you
see
can sort of
performance
a little bit here
benefits
our new,
once
our
they
new
get the
interface for
console stuff out,
characters.
too. That's nice.
I'll take a new. Or actually, I can just go to the character carousel.
yeah, you should.
Just show.
And to
Okay.
note, you can also use your D-pad, of course.
Toe
Yes,
Shoes
sorry, that wasn't
McBob.
it.
Yeah, there you
And
go.
then can create a new character here.
So how many characters can I have total? Is there a limit?
This is what I want to see.
No, I think you'll see 3 in the carousel at a time.
Limit
and-
of 10, I believe.
And
Okay.
there's a limit of 10
I
in
have to-
addition
I
to
have-
the single player.
I have to double check, but yeah.
Okay.
Right.
You can have one single player character at a time
Okay.
when we launch a single player. Just because there's like the database is quite heavy because it's saving your character but also your world, right?
Like the character I made for you.
Toe Shoes McBob. I like it, except I'm not wearing toe shoes today. It's so sad. So sad. I like it. Should I play this character?
No, you
No,
can't
no.
make a new one.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Do
think
not
let's
use-
go into single player.
This was
Okay.
more to show that
Okay.
how the
Okay,
view is.
single player,
So
multiplayer.
in now you have this option in new game. You choose
cool.
between a single player, multiplayer. Single player characters can't be transferred to multiplayer. So
There
it's
you
very
go.
important to note that. You
Can I
confirm the mode.
transfer my multiplayer character into a single player?
No.
No, not right
The-
now.
Right.
The reason behind that is kind of technical, but they are running different database structures.
Oh, so you can't move
The
them that
online
way.
one and the multiplayer one is Postgres. The single player one is SQLite. This is how we can run a database on a local device.
Postgres versus SQLite. Okay.
For now, it's too much of a technical challenge.
Right. So once single player comes out, we all gonna have to create new characters to.
For single player, yeah, you
Yes.
can.
Excellent.
Yep.
All right.
And then obviously you select difficult. These are like guidelines from us. really.
Relaxed.
Survival is the
Challenging.
closest to the online multiplayer experience, but it still has some tweaks to make single player work a little better, because we know that you won't be
Custom
playing with groups,
difficulty at the bottom.
so that we know that the end game is slightly different, right, in single player. And then you can, of course, instead choose to go custom difficulty. And here you can see some of the custom settings. We're in the middle of implementing a lot of these. So
this is an older build as well.
this is an older
is
build,
not
right?
final.
So like crafting costs, but under the crafting tab, you'll actually see a bunch more stuff. What do
There'll
you-
be
Everything can be
harvesting
crafted for
efficiency,
free.
crafting speed, water extraction
Buddy.
speed, loot respawn speed, building cost, resource respawn speed. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's
Nice.
a lot more options coming that are gonna show up here when this is
Combat
actually-
options.
Yep. I can go through them. It's,
Yeah, yeah.
Durability
Player
options.
damage. This is the combat tab. Player damage, enemy health, enemy damage, item durability. Oh, I'm sure that's going to make people happy.
The red bar.
The
you
red
can
bar will be
remove
gone
it.
for some people if they don't want it.
We'll also have incoming damage, so it's split. And then we'll have the player stamina drain, item max durability loss, and then we'll have
I would
global
very much
experience, and then
consider
also
restarting
individual
a
experience
single player
sliders from
game
different
with these
types of
controls
experience.
just to see if you can.
And I think that's
just
on this
make your
slide,
own
the previous
game.
one.
That's pretty
and then
nice.
Custom settings. This is for what you drop on death. Right now, you have a choice of everything, backpack only, or nothing. And it does say in red here, setting does not apply when killed by a sandworm. Oh, I went out again. Sorry, that's me.
But there will be a different slide.
But we will add one setting for that. So
Yeah.
people, I really, it hurts my soul to allow people to not lose everything to a sandworm, but sometimes my soul just has to be hurt.
It's his
how it has
fault.
to be. That's
It's
game
all his
development
fault.
People sometimes you
Nat-
lose.
I
part of
lost
the
my
soul
character in
along the way.
Ornithopter
It's the natural,
to a network
cycle
disconnect
of being a game developer.
at one point in time on my private server.
Yeah, we'll
Some of
also,
these are quite
It
interesting.
took me
especially for
25
people
minutes
who
to
love
get
building
logged
in
back
that game.
in, fighting with the
Being able to disable
the
the area building
anti-cheat
restrictions
software,
means that
their
you'll be able to
login
build
process, and by
in
the time
lots
I
of
was back
places
in,
where
it
you
was all
can't build
gone.
on the multiplayer or live areas.
So
These settings, by the way, should be available on all custom servers.
if their game was
as well.
super stable,
Right,
So they aren't
all the
just.
self-hosted-
This isn't just single player. It's just we're showing you
Okay.
it through single
Disable
player.
area
So
building
self-hosted people have
restrictions.
options like this. So
Or
disabling
sub-thieves,
area building
yeah.
means you can build basically wherever you want. There's a couple of points here that are important. They're in red. If you decide to build inside caves, you can't assume that you'll get shelter from that, because that's not how the game works, and it doesn't take into account that you'll get shelter just because you have a cave above your head.
interesting.
And if you build in locations where you block quest givers and things like that, then of course there'll be unexpected consequences for the game.
So there can be some quirks happening. if
Absolutely.
you
We
build in
wanted to give
weird
people
places.
maximum freedom.
Okay.
Maximum freedom to build and maximum freedom to play the game and do cool
to
builds
wreck
out
the
of
game
it.
if you
But,
want. Okay, I'm good
you
with
know,
that.
sometimes authored content can get destroyed by that. So that's just how it works.
another one that's not there right now, but building stability will also have a toggle. Oh, it's there, right?
It's there.
Actually, yeah.
Ignore building stability.
And they'll have base decay as well as a slide.
It's there, Ole.
As an option, so.
So yeah, you have a fair few options and a lot more coming into this menu.
That's
Are
cool.
we gonna have anything to control?
That's not far
sandworms,
away. This
Yeah,
is
you
like
can-
this is just a few
hazards?
months away.
You can disable sandworms and sandstorms
Okay.
on and off. That's options that are going to be there.
Cool.
And obviously, if there's more options down the line that people
You
are
could
asking
set
for,
all
we'll
the
consider
settings
them
so low
as well.
that this is just walking
Yeah,
around in the
that's,
sand.
it's gonna
That's
be a
all
lot
you're
of
doing.
options.
You're just walking around in the sand.
And so this is we're running on a PlayStation 5 dev kit.
Test kit.
Test
yeah.
kit?
Test kit, yeah.
Sorry. But basically, this is the game running on PS5. I think, I've been playing at home and I'm actually fairly impressed at how smooth everything's running. It's been really good.
Yeah.
We're running in quality mode, which is, running at 60 FPS or?
The quality mode is running at 30 FPS, and then you have performance mode running at 60 FPS.
Okay, but there was some discussion about, are we keeping it that way? Or
I
is there-
believe for now, yeah, we're.
Yeah, okay. All right.
I believe so, but we'll see. Some of these the decisions are still pending until we are done. Certain.
This is still, and I keep thinking
I'll
about this.
take
This
my,
is a
my normal
massive
character here.
change. To offer a single
give her
player
my normal
version of the
name.
game on a
So when we're
multiplayer
talking
game,
about single
at least that
player,
it was built that way
is it
originally.
Online single player or is it offline single player?
So you need to authenticate when you log in,
Okay.
but then once you've done that, so
Fair
logging
enough.
in authenticates your character
Right.
list, right, which is stored on the Funcom live services. So your character lists and things are gotten from there. Once that's done, you can disconnect and you can play offline if you want to.
And this is also like all the information around which DLCs you own and all of that stuff
Yes,
is a part
that's all
of
stored
that
there.
logging
Right.
information. So
I
it's
can
important.
fix her.
Yeah,
What is
exactly.
that?
But once you're in the game, that shouldn't be the case. Then you can go offline.
That's
if you want
funny.
Okay.
I can fix her my favorite character.
Yeah.
I have another
Joel.
character I call Morgan Fremen. But
So
Morgan
one of
Freeman,
the
that's
other
good too.
comments I've also seen online and the discussion among the players was, how are we going about adjusting some of those multiplayer features into the single player reality?
Thank you.
Like, we
That's
have
what I wanna know.
Exchange, we have Social Hub, we have Deep Desert, we have a launch strat. Are you guys able to tell us anything? How are we approaching this?
sure. It's not the Deep Desert so much as the Coriolis Storm, I think, that is the actual interesting part for the change there. The Deep Desert will have a single layout
Yep.
that we're going to keep. The Coriolis Storm will be reduced so that it doesn't wipe everything
Okay.
for players. The
So you
the
could
Landsrad will change to be like driven in the back end by like a simulation of a competition for the player. So it will basically create like enemy guilds that are basically making progress in the Landsrad for you to compete against. And then what was
but
the
they're going to
last
have to
one we
adjust the
talked about?
values so that you can
The
compete.
exchange has now been replaced with just a series of like off-world vendors.
Right.
Okay.
Because the exchange doesn't really serve any purpose in single player. So I'm
It
gonna
doesn't
skip
serve
some
much of a
cinematics.
purpose
Yeah, I
on
hope
some
no one's too
multiplayer
offended.
worlds too. Just depending on whether the
Your
economy's
one
right.
is, the saddest, I guess.
I've seen them a million times now. It's fine.
But then for
I'm more
the-
excited about the new cinematics coming in.
Oh, they're gonna be great.
There's some cool stuff coming.
But then for the launch strat, will single player players need to create a guild, or will they be able to engage with it right from the get-go?
No, guilds have been removed from single player.
Right.
So
Okay.
players will be able to, once they've done the appropriate faction leveling, because you do have to join a faction.
Pick a faction.
with certain
No
to
guild.
there.
Okay,
Once you've
cool.
done that, you'll be able to jump straight into the Landsrad and start participating in the Landsrad. So that's all coming.
Again, I think
and,
that's a massive
gonna be
change.
there
That's
for
just
players in
tremendous.
Single player, yeah. And then
The
of
fact
course,
that they
some
can
of these
adapt
options
this and
will
make this
go to
work. We'll
self-hosted
see.
as well, and then we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
There's a lot about the Deep Desert, for example, that we're discussing internally about how we want to, should the PvP and PvE versions remain the same? Should we be doing more in different areas to make them work differently? I'm not going to bother to follow this journey. I'm just going to go kill people. It's the fun
Good
part.
job.
Another cool thing with the controller, it's not actually implemented in the build we're playing, but I've been like gung-ho about getting good haptics on this so that people can really feel like, especially on the PlayStation 5, you have the haptic triggers. Or
I'll try it on Xbox.
what, they have a specific name for it. Sorry.
Adaptive triggers.
Adaptive triggers, that's it. So I've been like, the audio guys and I put some of our designers on like making sure that this is a really cool experience, especially if you think about vibration from the sandworm when you're walking on the sand and things like that. Players really should get that feeling through their hands
Vibration
as they're
from the
playing. So that's another
sandworm
cool
back
thing
into the
about playing
controller.
on console. Anyway, back to the.
And
back
for
to
the
Okay.
triggers, when you do like
I like
blocks and
that.
attacks with
Yes.
your melee, that should feel like you have some
Yes.
resistance.
Yeah, the
on
slow
PlayStation.
slow blading someone through a shield with an adaptive trigger is like a pretty cool moment, right? Things like that. So
That's
there's a
actually
lot of cool
pretty
stuff
interesting. Yeah.
We're doing that. Like these.
I
are
hope they apply all that to the PC
components
version
that
too.
come with the console experience that are part of it. And yes, we're trying to make it work on PC if you play with a controller on PC
There you go.
as well.
There you go.
Not all of the things are as straightforward on PC. But we're trying.
You knew what I was going to ask.
I'm just going to avoid those bombs.
You enjoy watching the.
They are starting to think ahead.
I love tutorials.
All the things we're going to
Read
want.
everything. Read tutorials. That's definitely something
So-
we would want people to do more.
Absolutely.
Boom.
Nice block. Nice parry there.
One other question I had for you, as well as a clarification, since we also seen this being
Knife girl.
asked quite a bit online, for console players specifically, what's the best way for them to play in co-op?
So in co-op, you need to play in multiplayer. You need to choose multiplayer and join a multiplayer game. And that's where you can meet up and play with friends. Yeah.
And you have to have a multiplayer
The solo
character.
version of the game is really single player. It is just you running a local version of the game.
So basically, going into one of the official servers
Yep,
and
or-
starting your journey there.
Join an
or-
official server, meet your friends there, tell them which one you're going to be
I
on.
assume they're going to be separate servers. There's
I
no
think one thing
crossplay.
that is cool, because the settings that you were setting up while you were starting the game, you can actually go in and change them at any point.
Or is there
in time
crossplay?
while playing single player.
Yeah,
think
that's a
there
good
is.
point.
So you can actually now just press the system menu.
Hold on. I have to remember which buttons it is.
and then go to server settings, which is not
On the
going to be
left,
called
yes,
server
yeah.
settings. It's going to be called difficulty settings. But yeah, you can have
Okay,
them
so
here
I
as
can
well.
change all these on the fly.
Anytime.
Nice.
If you have an experience that you found
Yeah, that's fine.
difficult
Yeah,
or too
that's
easy,
going to
you
make
can
this
just go in
more available to other
to your
people.
liking.
I don't have
Yeah,
any.
so if
I have
you're
no
getting
complaints
frustrated in
about
the middle
that.
of the game.
Yep.
It's nice. It feels like cheating, but it's okay. I'll forgive you.
It would be nice if they
I'll
have like
forgive you.
achievements
I don't know
tied
if,
to finishing
I don't know if
things
your own
at
body
higher
will. I don't know
difficulties
if
or
you'll,
something like that.
Feel good about yourself afterwards when you cheat your player damage up to beat a boss. But, you know. if
Well,
things
just
don't
put
explode
it.
now,
Just
I'll
put
be
an
upset.
achievement
We
system,
leave it in
guys.
the hands of the players, right? That's part of it.
Oh,
It's
That way, if
not-
you do it the hard way,
Yeah,
you get
dodge.
credit for
What the
doing it the
hell?
hard way. If that, if you like that, that's it.
Yeah, skill issue for sure.
That's it. People like to be able to, people do like to be able to say, "I did it the hard way,"
So
right?
I mean,
Nothing
now
wrong
we're
with that.
playing melee, but one thing that we're doing for ranged as well, of course, is that we're adding better aim assist or aim assist in general
Yes.
to the game. So
VATs.
if
Can we
you
have
want to,
VATs?
You can turn it off, of course, but you'll have the option to have aim assist, which I
More
do
aim
know is
assist on-
important for
yeah.
quite a lot of console players.
Yeah, and accessibility as well. So,
Yeah.
these things are important for players. And by the
Oh,
way, I
that's
was
just
talking
console.
about adaptive triggers and things. Those are all things that you'll be able to turn off as well. So you'll have the option to turn them off.
Absolutely.
Also important for accessibility. Cool.
So I guess that's a common theme across the entire thing is that we're giving players more options to choose how they want to play the game.
Yeah, I think that's been something that I'm a champion of since Conan Exiles, really. Like every time someone asks me, should we do this or this? My response is always, make it an option as best we can. Because like in these type of games, people really want to customize their experience, and giving them that option is, I feel like, the best way.
So
If
we know
sandworms
this is
turn
gonna
off?
be releasing on September 22nd, but will players be able to firstly test the console any time earlier? Are we?
Yes. So we'll have a couple of closed beta weekends. That'll be we'll set
Oh,
up
yeah.
some possibilities for people to sign up, and then we'll choose
That's
a few people
perfect.
that will have
SATs.
sign an NDA and be a part of
Spice
the
assistant
testing group.
targeting system.
So we will be running a few of those, similar to what we did for PC back in the days.
Oh, that would be great.
Just to get
Beta
some
weekends.
initial feedback from our players and see how things work.
I'd love to see
Also
a bunch of this
stress
pushed to
testing
the
some of
public
our
test
systems,
client.
Making sure we're ready for launch. So that's coming. Right now, tentatively end of
The public test client's great. If you're on,
Yeah,
if you
it's
haven't
perfect.
tried it, it's fun.
So if anyone
mean,
out
it's
there
kinda
is
throwaway, but-
interested in potentially joining the closed beta for the console of Dune Awakening, definitely keep an eye on our channels. Whenever we have all the
Hell
information
yeah, man.
squared away,
Hell yeah.
we will be asking people to register. Tell us their interest and then start inviting them
Get
to
ready.
test the game. But testing the console is one thing. We obviously have all the things new coming in the patch.
Sir Styles, we have to
Will
put that into the
the
Discord, the
kinda
spice assisted
console
targeting
patch
system.
be also available
If you don't
on
do it, I
PC
will.
At any point?
Somebody needs to go put that out
Yes,
there.
we are going to go quite early to PTC, Public Test Client, with this build that we're planning to ship with
How
the
early?
console.
August?
So also
How about
towards the end
July?
of June is the tentative date for putting this current version that we're working on in PTC.
End of June.
Basically everything you're seeing here, except for the actual PlayStation 5 part, should be coming to PTC very soon. Maybe an even better
Wow.
version of it.
Yeah. Exactly.
Okay, I'm gonna live stream
Yeah,
that.
since right now I think we're having the game running on the 1.5 build, which is our third build.
Yes.
But we're also working on day one patch.
I'd start a new
1.1,
character there and throw it away and start another one once they
some of
release it
the
too.
Additional changes, improvements,
Just to see how
and
it
quality
plays.
of life updates, which some of them will actually go over later with Alex.
Thank you, sir.
Yes. That's right.
You're getting attacked.
You have the
There are good places in Discord to
Oh,
chat
shit.
with people that are
Wasn't
just
paying any
complaining.
attention.
Quickly, switch the screen. Switch the
Nah,
screen.
nah. Let me man up and handle this properly with the heavy attack at 10x damage. I think I'll be okay. That's funny. Thanks, Ignacy. It's a good thing you've got my back. Otherwise, I'd have looked like a moron on stream. Oh wait. Never mind.
Look at the hat,
Never
Joel.
happened
Look at the hat.
before.
I think you're already there, brother.
Cool.
Yeah, but there you have it.
It's a great hat.
Dune
I'm kidding.
Awakening on console,
Everybody loves the hat.
PS5.
You saw it here first.
That's it. There will be more opportunities for you to lay your hands on it.
That's pretty exciting. I think that's
definitely
really
keep
solid.
an eye on our
I
channels
love
for
that they're
more
getting there.
information.
I know it's been a year. We've
right
got
now,
guys that
let's,
are very
maybe
anxious about it too.
Cut into a little break. We're gonna swap Ole Andreas for Alex, our expert designer, to talk a little bit more about some of the quality of life and changes coming in 1.4.10 and 1.5.1.
1.4.10,
So don't go
1.5.1.
anywhere. We'll be back in a few minutes.
All right, cool.
Peace.
I'm gonna take a break right now too. I'll be back in a couple minutes.
Hello, welcome back.
I'm Alex.
Everyone. Yes, we had a transformation. Okay,
It is not
a
Alex.
little bit of miscommunication.
I'm smart that way. That's totally not Alex.
Alex is safe and sound. There's nothing wrong. Nothing happened.
They lost Tasha,
That's
and now
all.
Alex
Will
can't
not
show
join us
up.
today,
What are
unfortunately.
they doing to their people?
So we'll
What are they doing?
Stick with Ole Andreas. We're gonna
I'm sorry, guys.
do what we can. All right.
No, they're mostly sad that I'm still here, but that's okay.
No, we're not. We're not, Joel.
I'll do my best British accent.
Alex, yeah.
Well, I think we were all caught off guard, because we were talking about the live stream all day. It's like, okay, let's get everything squared away.
You didn't know what day it was.
Ourselves.
I think we got to tell the audience. So Alex thought it was tomorrow, so he left. He went home, and we just went to get him, and we're like, "Dude, you're on the live stream." And we called him, and he's like, "Oh, yeah, no, like, okay, I'm at home. Okay, well, cool, man. I guess we'll do it." It's fine. That's fine.
We got this.
Alex, yeah, that's brilliant. Actually, it's kind of
I
funny.
said it's gonna be more laid back today, so we're living up. To
If anybody
the
wants to
promise.
complain about the game,
Obviously,
you
for
just
the past
know
few
it's a
minutes,
kind of
you
a
could also
casual
see the
environment,
progress
evidently.
that Caroline is making with the tattoos, so that's coming along nicely. But yes, obviously, we have the console release, we have the single player mode, both technically challenging features, very complex, but that's not the only thing that we're doing, right? Alongside, we have a slew of quality of life changes, improvements, that work never stops.
No. No, and combat in particular, right? Like there's a lot of focus. So when we knew we were launching on console and we had a date and things, I've been having the team go through the game and like identify pain points, identify problems, like identify issues. I've been playing myself. There's a lot of times where I've been like cursing and swearing loudly and stomping down the corridor and being like, God damn, I hate this about our game. And then I have a conversation with Alex and the team and we figure out how we're going to mitigate this issue or solve it. So we can talk about some of those things that we're doing. 1.51, I think, is going to be like quite a shift in some of the areas of the game that will make it smoother, a better
1.51.
experience and a better playing experience for people.
And when we say 1.5.1, we mean the version that ships with console.
Yes.
That's right. Day one patch, right?
Day zero or day zero patch, day one patch.
It depends who you're talking to, but yeah.
It's gonna be there on September 22nd.
Yes, exactly.
That's all you guys need to know.
And yes, that's right.
Yeah.
And on Test Live, I think, or
Yeah, it'll be on PC.
PTC soon.
So that will be the version people will be testing on the public
Yep.
plan, right?
And we'll be getting a lot of feedback on it as early as we can. So yeah.
But we also had another patch coming out on the public test client earlier today.
Yes.
It's 1.4.10.
Yeah, that one just
also
dropped.
have quite a few interesting changes that we should maybe take a look and just quickly skim through on some of the highlights. 5 new launch-stop missions for Haga Basin and Smuggler Run. So
Smugglers!
I'm personally very glad to see that we continue adding new missions.
Yep.
Those are
I
the
think
easy.
This is the feedback.
I assume these are the same. Those are the easier missions.
More missions.
They make
people want to
Landsrad
have
more accessible to people who are just
variety
starting.
As well,
Yeah.
Since there is a lot of combat, obviously.
Yeah,
in some of
I think
those.
the Landsrad mission, like I talked about it with Chapter 3, right? Like this was the beginning. It's the beginning of what we're doing here, right? And we're going to end up with, if we end up with 500 Landsrad missions over the next few years, then people won't be seeing the same missions very often, right? And
that'd be
things will
great.
come up, and it'll give people a lot more variety in the way that they play. The idea is, as we lean into the specializations, we also can adjust our missions towards more playstyles. John Wixon and the content team are working on more interesting ways to build missions in the game, which I think is going to be exciting stuff that people will start to see come to fruition in the next period, over the next year. Definitely you'll see the first hints of that on the polar caps, which I guess we can mention at some point.
Yeah.
These 5 missions were made by one of our designers called Amar. He was setting this up to try and exploit a little bit. Oh, someone's just gone straight to the polar caps. That's fine.
Thank you.
So
Oh,
polar
that's
caps is
incredible.
cool.
Look at
we'll
that.
talk about it's cool, pun intended. But like this is going to be a new survival experience for players as well.
This is really exciting
There's
stuff
a
too.
storyline that's sort of a standalone storyline in the Polar Cap. It's not in the main story. It's like a side story that you go to the Polar Cap and experience. And we'll talk about a lot of this stuff, I think. But the content team right now, they're looking at how to make missions more interesting, make sure that the mechanics of the missions are interesting. There's a real dynamic that I think is it's a very interesting tension between people who are just like, I just want my specialization XP and then I want to fuck off. And other people who are like, can't you make the missions more interesting? And it's like some people are there for the speed, some people are there for the experience.
I'm definitely there for the experience.
Yeah.
So these missions that Amar's
these
been
are
working
cool.
on are really cool. Like
I love Convergence. I think that might be
top, like hands down the one I love the most as
Yeah,
well.
yeah.
Like the fact that you see a huge visual impact on the world as you do it,
it's really cool.
Really cool.
Really cool. So these are exciting and they're coming in and I'm excited for people to play them and give feedback. But I mean, this is our goal, right? Like keep adding these things to the game, keep giving people more activities. And then on our end, like from a higher and a longer term systemic level, trying to find ways to make more and more systemic and interesting ways to play the game.
And
Cool.
obviously, we've mentioned Polar Cap. As we keep adding content as well, these will fit into the
Oh,
new
absolutely.
content.
There'll be new Landsrad
is-
missions that take into account the Polar Cap.
Yes.
Even though the Polar Cap itself is its
Well, that's the way it
own
worked with the old
closed
quarry as
loop
well, right?
about
So
the
like as
game,
soon as they
right,
launched
which I
that,
think
there were
is also
missions
gonna
that
be,
would take you out
well,
there.
super interesting. It's finally
Wind
like
pass.
a big. You know, I've talked about it before.
It's a
I think
very
that-
extensible system.
maybe just in an interview or two, but like I've talked about how the progression loop through gear and crafting and things is one thing, but the survival loops and giving people new survival challenges is a part of the experience we haven't really had that much chance to test, and the Polar Cap will be one of the things that puts that really into perspective, I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I'm excited. What can I say? So
I would
that's-
assume
that's
the,
first thing we
the
did today.
mechanics are going to be the same, but with different materials and
Yeah,
situations.
the performance work has been a massive undertaking.
So this is
Oh,
part
man.
of the things that you've mentioned that were added to the consoles already, right?
Yes.
Boss
yes.
health,
So this-
cargo
like,
container
we
weight
did
was
this obviously,
increased.
As part of optimizing console,
yeah.
we have targets we need to meet, but at the same time, we're looking at what are the main issues on live right now. Looking at the
Oh,
telemetry,
Thopter
seeing what the
surfing,
performance
gone.
data is telling us, and then we can pull some of those changes that we find are okay risk-wise, like they've been through enough testing, so that we can put them out there, and we can already go live with them to the PC version, which is amazing. So the performance optimizations done in 1.4.10 is significant.
Yeah, it's a lot of work, right? Like it isn't just
Includes
like, I
memory
think
usage for
performance
shadows at a
optimization,
distance
Some people
and
think it's just a
additional.
render coder or a you know or a back end coder sitting making optimizations. But no, our level designers need to go in and work on assets. Our environment artists are going in and like making assets more performant, making sure
I hope
the
it's
composition
noticeable.
of scenes,
I do.
the way that things stream in is better. It's actually a lot of hands on deck making sure these things work well. And then you have like consoles. You know, at this point,
Because I definitely noticed
think the
performance
generation of
problems
consoles is
in
maybe
heavily
5 years old.
populated areas.
Yeah, 6, 5.
Yeah, 5 or 6 years old. So we're like, it's like the Xbox Series S, for example, is a fair challenge for optimization, right? And that the game runs pretty decently, I think, at the moment. And
Super happy about how well it runs.
it's kind of
on the Series
crazy,
S
like
right now.
how good the optimization team has
I'm
done.
stunned it runs
And I know
on
there's
this
a lot
at
of,
all.
I see a lot of like snide comments online around Unreal 5 and stuff, but it does
Although
come down to
I
the
have
team
played
taking
this
the time
game
to
on a
optimize
Steam
and
Deck,
actually
and
make
it's
things
okay.
work well. And we've been pretty, I think, solid about this. I think
These are not
Dune
insurmountable
Awakening
problems. They
ran
just take
pretty
work.
well at launch and has continued to be optimized since then to be
Yeah.
even more performant.
And we know that there still are issues,
Yeah,
right? And
but-
we'll keep working on them. I think console launch, the one that we're shipping there, is going to be a very solid
Very good version.
experience for performance.
Yep.
So with this patch in particular and those changes, what do we hope people will see a difference in their gameplay in Haga Basin? Is it going to be less stutter or what?
Less stutters. There was a massive optimization on building streaming and how it loads in.
Yep.
Yeah, there's
Smoother
should be,
frame rates across the board, right? Like more level frame rates instead of big frame drops.
Yep.
People should be. Yep. Yeah.
Cool, excellent. Well, we definitely gonna need to test that, but please share your feedback with us. Some other changes, we're reducing the boss held by 20% for the foreman groups in dungeon runs. I think that always is appreciated. The comments that I see quite a lot is
the number of ads, right?
Guys, it's the number of ads,
Yeah,
but it's
yeah.
actually an issue. It's not really the boss. Is that something we're also looking at in the near future?
I believe so.
Yeah.
It's been controversial. Like people weren't happy that we were reducing boss health so much as they were saying it's the number of ads, it's the cost to reward ratio of running these dungeons right now in a 4-man group, especially at higher challenge levels. So yeah, there's balance tweaks going on.
but
A lot of discussion.
complex picture, right?
Yes.
You wanna
Yeah.
there's multiple
Scaling and
levels to
balance
tweak
is
here.
not simple.
I mean,
Yes.
Alex and his team, he's not here, but they've been looking at all of these different parameters. So
Yeah.
number of ads, boss
This was
health.
an Alex topic. He would have spoken very
Yes,
confidently about what they were
yes.
doing, and I haven't been having these discussions with him exactly.
Trying to make the best out of it, but yeah, they're definitely looking
I hope it's
into
not a
that.
bad sign he left the building.
I've been snooping in their Jira for the past few days, so
Yeah.
I know there's some tasks that are currently in progress, and something we're kind of trying to investigate. The cargo container weight has been increased. This is primarily an anti-griefing change, since we've seen people doing some unwanted behavior, pushing the cargo container with their vehicles. Now it should not be possible anymore, or at least be way more difficult for them. I think the change that will be very heavily discussed among the communities, obviously, the change that now players will be falling from vehicles once they are at a certain speed, which is basically the so-called top-tier surfing that has been used quite predominantly on the deep desert. It's no longer going to be the case, right? I think right now you can still be on a vehicle.
You could transport somebody if you really wanted to.
Speed, but then if you would try to go in adventure mode, then
and once you hit a
you're just
speed
gonna
threshold,
get
you
blown out.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. Yeah, exactly. I mean, this is always that complicated line between fun and balance, right? Because like it's actually kind of cool that like, oh, like I lost my Thopter, can you come pick me up? Someone comes picks you up with their Thopter. They don't have an extra seat. They're flying a scout Thopter. You stand on it, you get a ride back to wherever you want to be. I saw great moments in the community with this around.
Oh yeah, I've had people ask me for a ride
but
before on several
people
occasions.
standing on ornithopters with las guns, you know, using them in an unintended way to destroy other people. It's like it's funny, but not for the people losing stuff, right? So we needed to fix that, and we have. So now it should be like it's still possible to ferry your friend around as long as you don't go crazy with the speed. But this has kind of been put an end to now.
Very reasonable.
The ability to las gun the shit out of people while
as you said,
surfing.
Also with the specializations, right? Like the power creep has been much larger, so you could really destroy vehicles faster, even if we did some changes to kind of mitigate that in the past. But absolutely something for you guys to take a look at. Tell us what you think. Those are certain numbers that we can always tweak, but this is the general.
I've never had a problem recovering a vehicle.
Going towards.
Honestly, I don't think I've tried it
an immediate
once or
follow-up
twice.
question I expect people to have is, are we going to be looking at anything else regarding aerial combat or dogfights for balancing?
I mean, we'll look at it as a balance format right now. It's not the focus for me of like even for PvP in the future. Right? Like I think the nature of the vehicles is not such that they should. We're not trying to make a dogfighting game. I think our game plays best in combat when it's on the ground between parties, right? So
what have they done to
future
encourage
goals,
that?
I sort of mentioned this in one of the other live streams. Would be things like no fly zones in the deep desert, so people are forced to the ground to do combat in certain areas. So I think like that's where I would put more focus rather than trying to make dogfight. Like I think we'll just spread ourselves too thin trying to make dogfighting good. It won't be the best experience in the game. I think it's far better to like focus on actual ground combat.
Try to figure out how to do outdoor no-fly
so
zones where people can come in and fight.
How I feel about it, right?
And then some other things. We still had some edge case vehicles that people weren't able to recover. If anyone was in that situation, please check once the patch goes live. There will be some vehicles being recovered via your vehicle backup tool. So hopefully that should cover all the edge cases that we were still having out there. Some improvements to the controllers, of course, right?
Yep.
As we're kind of working on
The last one's kind of weird.
This is automatically coming in for everyone as well to enjoy. And then the last is adjustment and changes to the visibility in Haga Basin during the Coriolis storm build-up. So
I don't remember that being a
hours
problem.
before the Coriolis storm hits. We did get some feedback regarding like, hey, sometimes it's really hard to see in Haga Basin specifically, right? We have it for the reason to kind of notify players that something big is coming. But I think the changes there right now should at least make it
That's not
easier for you guys to move around and
earth shaking,
still play
sand
the game
shaking.
until the very last moment. Right?
Yeah, I think
It's
people
all
will
right, though.
feel they'll understand the Coriolis storm is coming still, but this will improve your ability to play. There were people saying it was just like I don't log in on Tuesdays because of this, right?
And that's not the intention, right? We don't want to
Not the intention at all.
limit people from playing.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. So you can read the full patch notes on duneawakening.com. And obviously, as we said, The patch is available on the PTC. Go out there, test it, and do provide your feedback via the dedicated Discord.
That's the patch
server we have for the
1.4.10
public test
on the PTC
client.
right now. That came down this
Vanessa
morning, I
is
think.
having her watchful eye on everything that's going on there. So any issues, feedback, she will be very quick to convey it back to the team. Shout out to her and the
Vanessa, we
rest of
trust.
the live team that are making all of this happen.
Yeah.
Did you just do the millennial love
I'm
symbol?
sorry.
It's okay.
I'm
We'll-
such
That's
a
all right.
old dog.
we'll
An old
forgive you.
dog.
But then we were saying, hey, we have this day 1, day 0 patch on consoles. So let's take a look at some
Okay,
of the
here we go.
highlights. This is
what
very
we're gonna
high
get,
level, but I think it should
later
help
this
us
month.
convey generally what we're looking at.
Yes.
Target
So
lock,
yeah, Joel, if you could maybe
dash
try
tutorial.
and
Sure.
talk
So a
to
lot
us.
of
Channel
this
your
is,
inner Alex.
Yeah.
well, a lot of the stuff that I've been screaming about,
Alex,
right?
tell us about this.
So a lot of the stuff I've been screaming about, and the content team the combat
just
team has
QOL.
taken on board. So yeah, obviously soft lock target selection. There's been improvements there, especially with the controller, making sure that you are attacking what you think you should be attacking.
Okay.
We've added
Fair enough.
improved the dash tutorial because we felt like even though it was teaching you dash, it wasn't teaching you dash in the context of how dash should be taught. So now people hopefully learn to understand that they can dash pretty much out of anything in the game and that this is the preferred way of moving during combat. We've updated the second wind mechanic. This is more that the second wing mechanic will start to kick in much sooner. People won't be locked into... Basically, I have this massive problem with players getting into a state where they have no inputs or their inputs are ignored because they don't have stamina, right? It creates this feeling of frustration. I'm trying to do this and I can't do it and it's killing me, right? So the second wind will kick in sooner.
Never
it'll get the
happened.
stamina back faster. We've fixed... There's these moments in the game where I just rage quit. I have these massive videos that I send to the combat team of me being ganged up on by like NPCs with shields, and I'm just meleeed into a corner. There's 3 dudes hitting me, and I can't dash out of that space. I can't get through it. And then I try to fly up in the air, and I get like staggered in the air because it's the same stagger animation, and then I just get killed, right? And I'm like, we need to figure out ways to make this feel good for players. So allowing dashing through.
I think they should
Right now,
release
you can get out of those tight corners where
video
you get
of
trapped.
Joel
This will definitely
raging.
improve things in like dungeons. the wave problem we were discussing, like that's one of the things that happens as well. You just get ganged up on. It'll fix things in the late game
Interesting.
when there's a lot of rushes. We've rebalanced our parry. We've made it more generous in some ways. And changed a little bit of the way that it works. It should be very nice for people. We found, especially with controller triggers being the activators, that the parry timings were harder. And so we've made them more lenient, but I still think it'll make for better stuff. We'll talk about some of that. Like there are things like getting stamina back when you do a proper parry and things like that. There's a thing called the melee combat circle, kung fu circle, for internal parlance. This is how NPCs attack you and how they decide when they're going to attack you. We've changed the ticketing system for this so that you won't have people... Like, you can... Right now, what can happen in the game is, like, I do a parry of a guy who attacks me, but because his buddy attacked at the exact same moment, or, you know, with a half a second delay, I don't parry the second thing and I take damage. And it just feels bad as a player because you had no way to react. So this will create a better experience there.
That's pretty cool.
Some rules
really.
around the central stamina bar so people understand the visibility.
I do not
Range
care
combat,
for
massive
multiple,
one is the
like,
aim assist.
melee
We've been
combat.
looking at that. We've been shaping it
Because
for
of that
all the
reason.
different weapon types.
Not that I'm not good at it
designers
anyway,
on top
but-
of that. We've refactored some of the way the crosshair accuracy works, and we've changed some of the way ranged AI accuracy works because we did have some
thank
very
you.
interesting
Thank
behaviors,
you.
let's say, where they became 100% accurate very quickly.
Yes.
And it created strange behaviors for the players to have to deal with. And then, we've been looking at how the way
NPCs
that
at
abilities
ridiculous
activate on
range that can
controllers.
hit
There's still
you
a few
in
things
almost
that we're
any
fixing.
circumstances.
But, you know, some things trigger differently on controllers than they do on PC, and it feels a bit off some way or another, so we're trying to fix that. And then there's a bunch of usability bugs for things like ability. So, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of stuff going in 1.51. That's just on combat, right? This is just the
it's
combat
just a
stuff.
slice.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
It's not.
I guess
That's cool.
one additional thing to mention is the soft lock targeting will have some options as well in settings for you to
Yes.
choose. So you can tune it a little bit to
Yes.
your liking.
In tune the way the soft lock works.
Yeah, if they don't get
And
the
then,
thing, I
mean,
noticed that
we-
there's some
I don't
places
know if
like
we're
in
talking at all about like some of the
overland
other
locations
streamlining
where,
stuff we've done.
Oh, you tell me everything.
where you fly through the air and the enemies can
the
hit
game
you
flow as
while you're
well,
flying
right?
through
Like,
the air
so
with incredible accuracy.
To talk about, we didn't have the base reconstruction tool when we launched. So when you started the game, you know you build a little base in Hager Basin South, and then you move north and rebuild your base using the base, the base copy tool. But now we have the reconstruction tool, so actually you're able to pick up your base through the tutorial. So we're teaching people to use the base reconstruction tool, making that flow
That's excellent.
from Hager Basin to Amelius Gap for people much smoother in the beginning of the game. We've taken a look at, like, I know that people will laugh at this because the way that the contracts worked earlier, a lot of the contracts from the first trade post were sending you past the places you need to go, or people ended up going back to the same location 3 times to complete their contracts. So we've been taking a good look at the contract flow throughout the entire game, making sure that players get a better experience, a smoother experience as they play the game. And there's still all the frictions of survival. It's not like, I think there's like this, when devs say streamline, people go dumb down, but that's not what we're doing. We're just making it so that you don't get frustrated, because there are frustration points in the game that I think we can just ease the edges off, but we'll keep.
There's a
the
lot of
frictions
that, especially
other
in the
places.
first in
So
the
it's
Haga
fun.
Basin area.
And in addition, obviously, we're fixing a ton of bugs. That's also in combat.
Oh, yeah.
They're working their way through a bunch of bugs that we know have seen on live that we want to get to at some point. So that's, I mean, since launch, we've fixed thousands of bugs.
Like the number of
There's still
times you
bugs
have to
there
go through some of
sometimes,
those
but,
testing stations
we'll keep
and go back
at
again
it,
and again and
turning
again
at
and
them.
again
Thousands
because
of
the
bugs,
quests
yeah.
aren't really
I've seen
lined
the
up.
numbers.
It's a never-ending story, right? It's an ongoing effort.
It's a big game, complicated
as
game.
we add content, there will be things we need to fix.
Oh no,
right?
AI's going to fix it all right. I'm joking.
Yeah.
I'm joking.
So one thing that just came to mind, obviously, when this would arrive on PTC on the first release, whenever we're ready, we said end of June, beginning of July, or whatever. I would imagine it's not gonna have everything, right? We will still be patching the PTC, regularly adding
When is single
additional
player?
content that the teams are kind of
When can we test that?
in finalizing, right?
Also, a huge part of it is like we want to hear what the players think. We want to get their feedback. So once we ship it to PTC, we'll make sure that we follow it on Discord. There will be a Discord for that community that we have testing it, and we'll then keep iterating on that.
Yeah, we have a strong affinity for running betas and listening to what players are saying and trying to like improve the game towards what people want. So we'll continue with that. And yeah, I think like we will have most of this in by the time we put this on PTC, right? Like this should be, because like the team is so summer in Norway is always there's a vacation period as well, right, coming up. And
Vacation?
so we're trying to make sure that everything is in place.
What's that about?
Before any of that happens, and then we'll be in what we call stabilization mode for our patches.
Yeah, so
which means that we'll be like stabilizing, but not like adding a ton of new stuff. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's how production cycles go. We go
It's very encouraging,
the
guys.
alpha and beta, and then we go into stabilization. And the PTC build will be after we go into stabilization. So there might still be issues and bugs and stuff, but that's what stabilization is for.
Right. Cool. So all of that getting ready for September, but there are still months before the end of year. We
Still
briefly
beautiful.
touched upon Polar Cap.
Polar caps, yes,
but,
please.
I wouldn't feel good, and I'm pretty sure community would also didn't feel good about me if I wouldn't try to maybe extract a little bit more out of you. Any little tease, anything else you can tell us about the Polar Cap to satisfy the excitement and the curiosity that we really have seen after the Polar Cap announcement,
Sure. I mean,
or tease rather.
I think this is interesting because it's probably one of the first times that Dune Awakening shows a part of Dune that hasn't been shown in any other media. The books mention the Polar Cap, they mention the faction, the Water Shippers, who and there's a specific character called Lingar Butte. Lingar Butte is a water shipper. He's at the banquet scene in the book, and there's more about him in the extended Dune stories. And so the player doesn't really know what's happening, right? But the player is given a job to go and investigate the polar cap because there's a bit of a water crisis going on and people aren't receiving their water shipments from the polar cap. And so you kind of go into the polar cap blind, and I don't want to spoil too much, but essentially it leads to the player having to go back to the basics of survival for a while and figuring out what's going on, uncovering what's happening here. And it introduces a whole bunch of new mechanics around crafting, a bunch of new mechanics around ice harvesting and things like that, right? Things that you would expect to see. And
we also want to
I wonder if you can set up bases
continue evolving
in the
some of the systems that we've been starting to evolve, such as augments, for example. That's part of the things that we want to continue evolving.
There are rewards that you will get here in the ice. Like there is a reason for the ice cap to exist, and you will get things here that you can't get anywhere else in the game. And there are resources here that you need that you can't get elsewhere in the game. So this is like going to become an important part of the overall game loop for the game.
Well, I'm excited. I cannot wait until we actually will be able to speak concrete about the power cap. Today is not the day, but I appreciate.
And we'll get Jeff G in here to sit on.
I hope at least it's the kind of place you can go into without a lands rat mission. You can go there
through
and
the ice and snow.
Spend time.
No snow, but the ice and the polar.
If not, make a base.
Precipitation on Arrakis.
Maybe they won't do that.
That's my
important rule.
But yeah, it's cool. It's going to be great, and I think people are going to be really interested in how we approach this.
Awesome. All right. So there we have it. More to come very soon.
Hey,
Needs more rocks.
Our names looks familiar. El Jefe from Discord. But yeah, we're gonna go into a little break, and after that we'll officially open our rapid fire Q&A session.
Q&A and tattoos.
Pre-submitted through the Reddit thread for the live stream, but also Nicole has been paying attention to everything you guys have been saying in chat, and we'll be answering as many as we can.
It's actually quite crazy, by the way. I didn't realize, but Nicole's birthday is the same day as Dune Awakening's birthday. I had no idea.
It really is.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yes.
Happy birthday, Nicole.
Birthday, Nicole.
Happy birthday, Nicole. Maybe we'll have something to celebrate that in a very moment.
Yes.
But before the live stream, we've also asked you guys or the community to share some of the stories from Dune Awakening, and we have picked some of them to highlight for everyone to see.
What kind of stories?
Any player that has their story highlighted, thank you very much. We will be contacting you later this week and giving a code for the Atreides battle rifle as a little token of our appreciation, but also we appreciate everyone else who decided to share some of their personal stories that they had with Dune Awakening. So let's take a look at that, and we will be back for a Q&A in a very few moments.
Very cool. I don't think I can read that fast. Here's my story. I was in the beta and I got eaten by a sandworm, and I made a short TikTok of it, and they flagged it for violence. That's my story. Like, go on TikTok. It's sensitive content. I'm like, it's a sandworm in Dune, people. Oh man, there's a wall of text. Unfortunately, most of my stories are things like I accidentally jumped out of my ornithopter while flying across Haga Basin before they made that something you could put on a different hotkey. Those are very nice. There's somebody asking about crossplay. I don't think they talked about it. I don't remember if they said that we would have crossplay or not, but I really hope so. Like, I don't know how they could support a lot of servers without crossplay. I mean, the overall community is already kind of consolidating a bit.
Yeah, well, welcome back.
Did Alex come to the office?
Wild Alex appeared. He ran from home to join the live stream.
Like, actually.
He actually ran. How many Ks away do you live?
3 something.
3.5 Ks, yeah. Nice. You don't seem that sweaty,
No,
all
it's
things
fine.
considered.
It's magic.
Yeah.
You run regularly anyway, right?
Yeah.
Get a bike, man.
Well, but we couldn't say no, so we will be in this very weird setup.
Very close.
But hey, it is the anniversary live stream. We are spicing things up. But yeah, I mean, the more the merrier. We have a bunch of questions that we will be answering. So, Nicole, whenever you're ready, just drop them on the screen and we'll do our best to answer them.
It's gonna take a bit, so just
Yeah. Yeah, it's gonna take
The professional
moment.
operation
We're
here,
gonna fill
kids.
the gap.
Nice.
There we go. The Faithful Sheriff. Any plans for new variants for Carry All and Sandcrawler?
I mean, yes.
Simple question, simple answer. We
Should have asked
will be
when.
Adding more variants at some point.
At some
At
point.
some point,
Yeah.
There you go. Non-committal.
CMDR Atlas. Are there any plans for new guild-oriented features from Reddit?
It's a good
Guild-oriented
question.
features.
Any of those 2027 features that will...
Ooh, that's spicy, actually.
Yeah, I'm not sure I'm allowed to talk about it too much.
No, you're not.
I'd
but
rather we don't.
but
you can
Yeah.
say yes or no.
I'm just thinking of like guild-oriented comes with certain connotations, right?
Yeah.
That I'm like, there are like I would say multiplayer-oriented that like guilds will definitely participate in as a guild, but not it's hard to say. Like it's not like, hey, this is specific only for a guild and only a guild. I don't think that would be honest.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
That's
it.
pretty
No more
ambiguous,
questions,
guys.
please. Yes.
WJCVN, will there be more events like the one with the crashed ships and missiles that shot them down? I would love to see an event with
Yes.
a solar eclipse.
The Chom
and
guns.
So yeah, you mentioned that earlier, Joel. We're definitely looking at.
Yeah, definitely. And yeah, like there's one I have a personal I was gonna say absolutely the wrong word. I have a personal love for this particular thing that I was going to that I would like to.
Yeah, don't say that, Joel.
I would like to do for a specific season of the year, a specific holiday season in the real world that I would like to push for. Anyone who's played Secret World knows that there's a particular season that I really liked to do events for there, and I would like to bring some of that kind of flavor to Dune. So I have an idea, and
Holiday
I'm
event.
going to push hard to try and get that.
We have a
Interesting.
chat on that next week, I believe.
Do we need
Yes, I
those?
do think I called the chat next Tuesday.
Insane. Is there content planned before September 22nd for PC?
I mean, the Landsrad missions went out today.
No,
Or
PTC.
they're on PTC.
Or PTC.
Yeah. So there is the new Landsrad missions will be coming before September 22nd. But no, otherwise I think that's pretty clearly it. And then the
Yes.
events that are being run.
So we're having a bunch of events,
Yep.
and then the Landsrad missions, but on from there on until console launch, it's
Yeah, and just to explain that, right? Like, it's also because there's what we call certification for console. Certification is where you send in the builds to Sony, Microsoft, Nintendo. If you're doing that, we aren't, and they have to certify, and it's quite a long process, right? And you need to pass this before you're able to launch on consoles, and the builds need to be delivered fairly cleanly with like very little issue. So like we can't, if we want to have parity when we launch on console with PC, we want to have both versions on the same thing. We can't just be updating the PC version in the middle of this, right? We actually have to hold back and keep everything together. That's part of the reason why Polar Cap's coming later in the year as well. Because if we could have,
that's not a terrible
Polar Cap's
explanation.
really cool, and we could have dumped it in the middle of this, but then it would have messed up all of our console plans. So no, it all kind of needs to come in the right order. Sadly,
so they have to wait.
So 1.4.10, technically last content patch before September.
correct. But there will be some events.
yeah, and there might be a 1.4.20 with some hot fixes. No, I don't remember.
Nothing planned right
Okay,
now.
nothing planned. Ask the production guy. He knows.
Okay, all right. I didn't catch the previous question, Nicole, so you will...
So there's like a 10-second delay between she sends and you get it. So
Right.
it's gonna be
Okay.
a little-
Apparently, there's a little bit of
work
delay
around it.
between.
Well, somebody asked a
around it.
question.
Like the delay
I was paying
between my
attention.
mouth and my brain.
Whoa.
Sorry, it's true though.
He restrained himself.
Little dance, I guess.
We can guess what he was going to say.
How was your run, Alex?
That's fine. I
Those
enjoyed it.
pixels,
Oh, hold on, here we
are
go.
there any plans in the pipeline for guilds, custom flags, expanded members to 64, guild permissions for vehicles, perks, etc.?
I think that comes back to the other question about guilds, which is I would say no. I'd be lying if I said there was. We could talk about things like that, like extending the guilds to 64 doesn't make that much sense because then you can't fit in a single Hager basin. So we wouldn't do that. That's why it's got a limit where it is already.
Interesting.
Our official servers have a cap of 40 people per Hager basin, so that wouldn't make sense. But some of the things like custom banners and things like that, we did it in Exiles eventually. It's stuff that I
Custom
would put in the
banners?
agenda for the future. It's not currently in the plan.
I would think permission changes would be significantly difficult to do, so I don't expect any of those.
Z Silverwoods, for players who have already reached the current endgame, full grade 5 gear, optimized augments, max specializations, what do you envision as the long-term aspirational gameplay loop of Dune Awakening?
This is-
Perfect question.
It's great.
Alex wants the answer.
I am actually.
No, so I think that those people will find a nice change of pace when we get to. First of all, I don't believe anyone's hit the specialization cap yet. Am I wrong?
I don't think so. Yeah.
There's no-
We have
I'd-
some people who did complete level 100 for maybe 1 or 2.
Yeah, but not all five.
But not
all
everything.
four.
Yeah, there's
Five. Yeah.
pretty much zero chance because of the way that's balanced. So
Nice
yes,
try.
we're going to continue to add features to the game, right? Like that's part of the plan. So the longer term aspiration of Dune Awakening is, of course, I've talked about this before, is that we have a long term plan for the game. New features will come in. I can't really talk too much about what the new features are, but you can imagine like things like new ability trees for players that reinforce like separate styles of combat and things like that. New specializations can come in. The content will keep pace with that, and we will have more content for players along the lines of those things. And there'll be completely new gameplay loops coming. Things that you haven't done in the game that tie back into all of the different feature loops in the game, right?
Polar Cap is an example
And
of
the
that.
Polar Cap is like another example, right? There's a bunch of new things that you're going to want, even as a maxed out player, because they broaden your game
Interesting.
experience. There's things that you can get there that you won't be able to get anywhere else. There's reasons to engage with the resource loops in Polar Cap. So yeah, I think that's just how it will be. We'll continue to make the Dune experience, because I think our goal, I think maybe the creative direction at the highest level is to make like a Dune universe game, right? Like that's what we're trying to do eventually, right? Like everything here should feel like you live in the Dune universe, you have a Dune life, and you
Can we go to a different
we parallel
planet?
some of the events and stories from the books and the movies, and I have a plan that sort of lasts for I've called it the 10-year plan before. I don't know how long it will actually last, but it's a plan of content and events, and there's a main story and there's a narrative, and all of this stuff leads through certain things, and those things are features that will tie back to you. So you'll have stuff to do. Now, specifically, this question might be, what are you doing to challenge me as a player with that? And that's something that Alex and I and the combat guys and Jeff G, like on the exploration side, like all of the specializations have specific end goals, right? And then you're like, what's the content that challenges when I reach that high tier? That's what we're actually talking about right now. What we can do to make sure that people feel challenged in those roles. So we're getting there.
I thought it would take almost
finished.
a year to max out all
Next
those
question
specializations
from
anyway. So
Minobi, do you have any
I'm sure
plans
some
to
people are pushing pretty
introduce
far.
bigger water containers?
Yes, we do.
Indeed.
They are on the plan. They're going to be worked on.
It's twice
Okay.
as
I
nice.
don't know if I want to see much
Twice
more.
as nice with ice.
Yeah, exactly. Twice as nice with ice.
Lee Buch S. Are there any plans to improve or overhaul the PvP aspect of the game?
Yes, there are plans. Overhaul is a very strong word with a lot of implications. Improve, yes. I've talked about it on other live streams. We have some plans for things like dueling system, arenas, control points.
Arena?
All of those three are
they took the
in
control
our
points
backlog.
out.
Like
They
where
have to be back
when
there
they will
somewhere.
actually come in is kind of, I'm not able to say. Alex and I have a task coming up where we're going to be talking about revamping abilities in the game. We're going to have a conversation about how things are working in PvP as well at the same time, and looking at what works and doesn't work. We are doing things like, we are paying attention, like when people talk about things that aren't fair in PvP, like the Thopter surfing, we already made that change. And then I talked about like no-fly zones in the deep desert and things like that. Probably those things will be specifically applied to the deep desert. So yes, there are plans to improve things in PvP in the game. I wouldn't say overhaul as in start from scratch and completely redo everything. That's probably not going to happen.
I think a good way to think about it as well is that anything that we do for the PvP should also be valid in the PvE experience, and one should not exclude the other as much as we can.
Yes.
There is a lot of...
That's an interesting
one of the most
answer.
challenging
That's a
things is to
very
make
odd...
2 games or 3 games in parallel. So we'll try absolutely our best to make sure we're only making 1 game, but that one experience will be great for as many people as we possibly can get away with, right?
I think
So
that's
it's
well put.
looking at melee, looking at range, looking at abilities, looking at vehicles, and how it all unifies together and the gameplay activities that you do as well.
Yep.
Alex speaks very quickly. Good for him.
Grant Moff Steve, can we expect more characters from the books to appear? Baron Harkonnen, the Emperor, Shani.
Yes, you can.
All right.
Yeah. I mean, it's a slow burn, right? Like when there's a narrative planned out over a long time. Yes, There's even characters you're going to meet in Chapter 5.
Go ahead, tell us.
Sorry,
You can
not
tell
Chapter
us.
5. Whatever the next update's called. 1.5.
The next update. I think we have a nailed
The
down.
console launch
You will
version.
meet characters that you haven't. You'll meet specifically 2
Look at that
really
question.
important lore characters that you haven't met. One of them is going to feature very prominently in the next movie as well.
Ooh.
So we had the next question, which was regarding whether we're planning to add any new abilities or deepen the specializations to the existing trees and systems. I'm sorry I didn't caught it fully, but I think that was the gist of it. If I'm wrong, Nicole, just resend that question whenever you want.
It was a pretty
like
detailed
Joel said
question.
a second ago, everything that we try to do is for the betterment of as many people as possible, or technically, yes. So there are plans to look at the abilities. There are plans to look at the abilities for the next big release. Some abilities can use more attention than others, and there are absolutely talks and conversations about how we can add more gameplay variety and unique experiences by either adding new skill trees or revamping existing ones.
Yeah, and some abilities.
We haven't really
Like
touched
we
the main
understand that
skill
people
trees
don't
from the
use them
start,
much,
have
or
we?
that they're like we can see through our telemetry what people are using and why, and we can look at how to make them more useful. Like one of the things that Alex and I have done, or I made Alex do, is the way I should say it, because that's just how it works. I directed Alex. It was like we've removed the Spencer grenade from the slavers in the Jabala free areas because the we had made changes in the dungeons because players were using the suspensor grenades to lock down all the NPC waves in the dungeon. So we'd made it so NPCs could ignore suspensors, which changed that dynamic. But then what it meant was that when you were playing in, like, especially newer players who were playing in the Iron Tier, Steel Tier stuff, they were getting locked down, floating in the air, getting absolutely destroyed by 12 people, like 12 NPCs who could just completely ignore the effects of suspensor grenades. Like, suspensor grenades need to be looked at. And we need to improve them as an ability. Like, there's no doubt in my mind. And we've done a couple of Band-Aid rip-offs here and there, and it's not good enough, right? We need to go back and revisit that ability and have a look at actually how it works and think about what it's going to do for as Alex says, for PvE, PvP. Like, how can we make that a more compelling, more interesting ability? Because right now, I think it's like, it doesn't serve the purpose we intended it to serve at launch. So, you know, here's a funny story, right? Like, if you remember, here's a funny story. Here's a funny story. Like, if you remember at launch, people were able to Goomba stomp with vehicles into players. Yeah. But actually, the counter to that, as designed by us, was that suspensor grenades slowed vehicles down when they hit them. So if you tried to fly through a suspensor grenade to Goomba stomp someone, you wouldn't have been able to do it. But it was optimized because of an issue, so it actually became possible to do it. So it's like, these things are complex, right? Like, sometimes someone will fix a bug thinking it's a bug and it's not, or it's an intentional design, or coders optimize a part of the game because physics collision through the suspensor grenade was causing issues, blah, blah, blah. And we end up in this situation where an ability becomes not what it was intended to be. So, yes, it's complex.
So call them out.
Anyway, end of my funny story.
Politely.
Let's go back to Ignacy's story time.
You run into it, they may not know.
Thank you, Ignacy.
That sounds like, and that's normal for a company, for any complex software environment, right?
Guess who's back?
They're going to fix something on one side and end up with some problem on another side.
How much singing in the office happens? Oh my
Sorry.
goodness.
Yeah, too much.
No, we're not.
So that's understandable. But that does rely on us to be sending feedback.
Solid Snake 090. Any plans for new vehicles?
Tanks one.
Thanks.
I was
Is
just
that
going
the
to
one
say,
everybody wanted? Thanks.
two things spring to mind. One of them technically a vehicle, I suppose.
Oh, okay.
I like this answer.
Yeah,
It's a bit ambiguous.
I like it.
Can we get a hover scooter
I mean,
or what?
Answer is then yes.
Yes,
Highly likely.
highly likely. But I don't think like vehicles are where we're going to be putting most of our development efforts. So you won't be getting like 100 new vehicles. It's not a vehicle game.
Music Junkie 81. Why can't we vacuum floor sand with the crawler?
That's on the plan soon, eventually.
There you go. Thank you.
It actually is.
Well,
No.
Production
Alignment meeting.
Just do it.
I'm half joking. It is something
Just
we want to
do
do.
it.
It's it's on the plan, but I don't know the
When?
current
Right.
release date.
Okay. So we're looking at the backlog bucket right now.
Yes.
I see.
I have different plans for how to get more flower sand, but we'll talk about that another time.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
I
okay
understand
too.
the need. I understand the wish for
Thank
sure.
you.
Routine Brush 6877. For the single player mode, how does NPC respawning works? Is it timer based like in standard online, or is it based on reloading chunks?
So I actually raised this not that long ago. We were talking about this because we do have a variable for respawning NPCs in the world.
Yes.
And I want to make sure that players don't have the Conan Exiles experience of like,
I can tell you that they won't, because we have persistence on you leaving
yes,
the area and coming back again. So they are respawn. They're timer based, like
Yes.
in multiplayer, and it will remember that you kill them and then leave the area and come back again.
so we can also open some of that timer up to players, right, to allow them to.
The
adjust.
timer will be adjustable.
Yeah,
in
so the
settings.
timer will be adjustable in settings
sweet.
in single player. So there you go. You can even make it so you can slowly. Can we make it so you can slowly depopulate the entire world?
Oh, like a I don't know, 1 week timer. I actually don't know what the max is, but that would be funny though.
It's
You
kind of
could
funny.
depopulate the
I
entire
killed
world.
everybody in Arrakis, and all I got was this lousy blood bag.
QC8472. Will we be able to transfer our current characters to single player? We covered that one earlier, unfortunately.
Database
No,
problems.
due to the database differences that
Postgres
you mentioned.
versus
Yeah,
SQLite.
they run different databases essentially.
Yeah, I mentioned it before. There's completely different database structures for these two.
Hattori Hans. Any
It does
plans
mean,
for
though,
mod
for the single player
support?
version, you should be able to manipulate your
complicated
SQLite
topic
database
for
pretty
you.
easily.
Yeah, it's still it still remains a difficult thing, I would say, for us. There's IP holders involved. It's not straightforward for us to just add mod support. So for now, the answer is no.
Yeah.
Okay. Valo31 TV, will Coriolis Storm still happen in single player each week?
I guess the interesting part here is that time in single player doesn't flow the same way as in multiplayer. There's no server that's always up. So that's the big difference. Do you know exactly the timing on it?
No, we've been looking at it when we've been working on it. Yeah, it's kind of a negotiation about how often it happens. But they won't be like Coriolis storms, right? Like they'll be different. They'll still be Coriolis storms, but they'll be different to the ones that happen in multiplayer. So it has a lesser effect.
They said they don't wipe out the deep
desert.
desert.
The
So
layout on the deep desert will not change.
Yes.
And your base will not get wiped
Yes.
anyway, right? So
Yeah, in single player, those things are far less.
So in single player, you
Like
can
an
go
important
build a
thing in
base in the
single
deep
player is
desert
that
permanently.
now when you shut off the game actually stops, right?
Yes.
That
Right.
means
Powering your base with fuel, if you leave the game for 6 months and
Yes.
come back, you'll still have the same amount of
Right.
time.
But
Things like that.
but the really nice thing is crafting actually continues while you're out,
Yes.
and
Oh.
there's a catch-up mechanic
that's
when you
nice.
come back again. The stuff that you've put to crafting.
Yeah.
is-
If you leave machines running to like craft and things, yes. You have to make sure the generators turn off though.
So you could queue up all your
Otherwise
spice.
Yeah.
Oh wait, no, sorry, maybe I'm wrong now. Not when you log out, but when you're out of
Yeah.
the area is what I mean.
Okay.
Con CEO CNC, have you considered adding or further expanding stealth mechanics for single player? I think it would be it would create
Why is
more
Joel
tactical
smiling?
options for approaching encounters.
Joel's gonna zip his lips and say, "I may not answer that one on the grounds that it may incriminate me."
No promises.
Okay.
No, yeah. I can't talk about it, right? Like so. No.
Alright.
Let's say for now, maybe.
Okay. Alex's smile.
Maybe.
Will be the only thing we're gonna
That'll
get
be fun. They
as
could
an
do something
answer to
there
this
on a
question.
single player. There's no point in stealth in the multiplayer.
John Dabar, are there any plans to rework or rebalance the personal rewards and decrees?
We talked about the decrees specifically recently, adding more stuff. The Landsrad personal rewards, not so much. And in that, like, it's not a conversation that's the top of our radar right now. It doesn't mean we won't do it or look at it at some point in the future. But like those don't seem to be the main driver of concern. The decrees, on the other hand, are something that we want to look at and continue to expand as well. So yes.
Yeah, decrees feel limited. The rewards off the Landsrad, it's like a
Lots of fun questions.
well-established set of rewards. It's also an easy way to get material.
No,
or get,
sorry for butchering your name,
blueprints.
guys, by the way. Do you plan to make construction costs for all buildables be a pickable option? Chom shelter made of plaston or Atreides set made of granite?
It's a good point.
No plans right now.
I
at
don't
least.
think we have plans for it right now. It's something I can talk with Leo and the building team about. It's a bit of a legacy issue tying back to the way that we wanted PvP and base sieges potentially between players to work, which is why we had higher tiers of materials with more expensive and thus higher hit points and things like that. So yeah, and obviously
But it's
that
not an
doesn't play
issue
out in the
anymore.
game as solidly as it needs to or should have. So yeah, it's something to think about.
Okay.
It's a good question that leads me to go down a dark path in my head that I need to fix.
Syllabub Middle, what does the future hold for Dune Awakening? Can we expect a new roadmap?
Yes.
Roadmaps.
My favorite thing.
There's
There's an in joke about promises in Joel. That's why the giggling is happening.
Yeah, so I want to tell a story, and then I want to talk about roadmaps, right? And then this is kind of like, so yes, obviously, Dune Awakening has a lot of plans. The visibility you have into those plans is up until the polar cap, essentially, right now. That's basically as far as we're talking about in the future. Next year, there'll be a bunch more stuff, right? Like I'm working on with the executive producer, there's plans that go all the way through 2027, and then like we look far ahead. I have a 10-year plan that I wrote 2 years ago of where I want this thing to go and like what things are going to be in there, but we adjust as we go, right? Like chapter 3 was a big pivot for us. It was originally something else, and then we pivoted to make the end game and the Landsrad more interesting because it just wasn't working. So yes, there is an internal plan, but then there's the public roadmaps. right? We're not an early access game where we're trying to present our public roadmap. And I'm really burned because on Conan Exiles, I presented a public roadmap during early access, and it involved settlement system, sorcery system, mounts, I can't remember, sieging. And it took us like 5 years to deliver those things that we said we would deliver in a year of early access. So I'm really burned out because all that happened for the next 3 years on Conan Exiles was people going, where's sorcery? You guys haven't delivered sorcery. You guys suck. You promised sorcery 3 years ago and you still haven't delivered it. Eventually we delivered on all of the things, but it took a lot longer than we thought as devs. So let's say I'm gun shy about actually putting out a public roadmap and going, this is definitely going to be happening at this point, because it also takes away your ability to pivot. Because if I'd said last year, here's what's happening between launch and the end of the first year of Dune Awakening, and then I look at what we actually did between the launch and the first year of Dune Awakening, it's 100%, not 100% different, but it's very different. Like, it changed a lot. From
Joel has
June
commitment
10th,
issues.
2025 to June
For
10th,
good reason.
2026. And that ability to pivot has actually been to the advantage of the player base, right? Because we were then able to work on the end game stuff. We were then, if I just set a roadmap in place and I'd had to like stick religiously to this, it would have just been a worse game at this point for you guys. So yeah, that's the only thing I can say. I'm like, and you know, it's fine to say that I'm incompetent or that I promise too much or whatever. It's quite okay, but like, it makes me shy of roadmaps, and I always have this discussion with marketing because
I think we should just say Joel has commitment issues.
Get people really excited about the future.
leave
And I'm
it
like,
at that.
let's not. Let's tell people
But I
about what
think
we're working
I
towards.
think it's a balancing act.
Yeah,
right? Like,
it's very
obviously, we want to communicate with you guys what we're
I don't
planning
mind at
for,
all.
You know, enough into the future.
This stuff is
so
actually
that,
much
you know,
harder
there's
than most
something for you
people
to look
assume.
forward to, right?
Yes.
But we need to find a good balance, and maybe we will not always manifest in, you know, a typical roadmap as you guys get to understand it. But it also doesn't mean we will not say anything that we're planning for the next.
But I think you can
months,
see
right?
the flip side of that is that when we do communicate something like the polar cap, is that we're clearly intending to ship this.
Yeah.
So we will communicate and we'll always keep.
Well, they're at the
Yeah,
point now where
something
when they
to look
tell you
forward
something,
to.
it's already
Like,
being
we'll
developed.
continue doing
It's
that
already
even
done
after
almost,
polar cap.
probably.
That's the intention, right?
Yeah.
But we don't want to. We want to also.
There's a whole discussion around known knowns,
Because
known
of-
unknowns,
just
unknown
talked about
knowns.
with
I know,
everything.
and it's just
That's
like
all project
player
management
bases as
stuff.
well. Like the way that you
Program,
play the game
product
is dynamic,
management.
and it might be that like, hey, we see a lot of people wanting more of this. Oh, but we had planned this. Oh, well, we'll just switch, right? Like, and it gives us that flexibility to actually make more of what people want. And
You're agile,
I-
bros.
the number of times that like time
Sort of.
just makes you into a liar as well. Anyway, let's.
Junies, I really enjoyed the single player announcement. I remember some time ago that it was mentioned how that wasn't a possibility due to numerous reasons. Is there any other concepts that at this stage weren't possible? And now
I do
we're
like it when it
revisiting
looks
them?
like they
This
make
is the bane
Joel
of my life, by the way.
pain.
The bane of my life.
We literally talked about it before the live stream.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. The bane of my life is that I get told by people, this is not possible, we can't do it. This is never going to happen. And then I'm the person who communicates outwards, hey, sorry guys, it's impossible, it's never going to happen. In beta, there were people going, can we have self-hosted servers? And I was like,
So
let me go check. Nope, we're not doing it. We can't. Apparently, it's really hard.
So when somebody tells Joel it's not possible, they actually just mean it's really, really hard. Right?
Yeah.
So it's not like single player came for free.
No.
It was a massive
Massive
undertaking.
effort.
Like it took a pretty large team, sizable team,
It's impressive.
months
If they
and months and months
deliver on it,
of
it's
work
going to be
yes, to
impressive.
to get everything working in single player.
And
because
we
of how
did
the game
this
is built.
because it was a big request from people,
Yes.
right? Like a huge request.
And it does open up some doors in the future now that we've done this.
Yes.
So obviously there are some things that we've said in the past that maybe was possible that might open up.
Yeah, it may not be impressive to
This-
people who just want
it's
multiplayer
like everyone
and PvP
kind of
on the
thinks
other
I'm a liar
end. But
because I told them mounts wasn't possible. Because at the time when we were trying to do mounts, the streaming on Xbox was so slow on the hard drive that you would run out of the world if we made the player move faster. Do you remember this?
Yeah, that's really
And I talked to the tech team and the CTO of the company, and he was like, we're not doing mounts, man. We can't stream this. And then over the years, we optimized Conan Exiles enough that we could do mounts. And it's great. And I'm very happy we could do it. But like, I always end up being the liar when I say, this is impossible, this is hard. So the point is, yeah, like we can probably do more things in the future.
That's why they give Joel the
Spend
best
enough
hats.
time on it. The question is
because they make
the
him
will
go
of the
out and
community.
tell half truths.
Next question.
It's not a character
float
flaw.
boat.
It's
How
just the
are
job.
build sets decided for when it comes to the theme? How many pieces and what types of pieces are to be included?
It's a good question.
This is going to be one of those. I feel like this is one of those trick questions because obviously people are unhappy every time we put out a building
trap.
set. It's hard, right? So because
I think they put out more than they used to.
Primarily about why it's hard.
Yeah.
We use the building sets we make in the game to build content as well. If you look at WinPass, it's using water shipper assets to build the buildings in WinPass. But we also cheat because we're game developers. On the inside, using the engine, we can rotate pieces. There's a team of people who make special an environment artist made these specific windows because he thought it looked better for this particular building. Blah blah blah. We cheat. You can't do that. So we give you building sets with the pieces that are aligned to the player building set. Now, I saw people on Reddit talking about, but those windows that are used on this building in WinPass, why can't we have those? You can't have them because they're not player building set pieces. They're not set up for a building set. They're made by an environment artist who specifically didn't care about the player building set metrics. So with that said, we are working on trying to standardize a set of pieces for buildings so that we don't have this issue every time we launch a DLC where people go, oh, you're missing this thing that I liked from this other set. But you also have to remember they're very expensive. Like there are a lot of pieces in every set for I mean, maybe people will think I'm being facetious or a bum or whatever, but like for what you're getting for the price of the DLCs in terms of how many assets there are in those building sets, it's a lot. It's a lot. And every time it's like, and there's no attempt on our end to like rip people off or make it worse or do it worse than this other set. It's generally just like, what do we have? How do we put them together? And then
we get it done in time.
Making sure that we have a standardized set so that people understand what's going to be there every time and we don't have. So I think that's it, right? That's where we're at.
And
they're getting better.
Theming, it often ties in with whatever the bigger updates that we have are coming, right?
Yeah.
That's the
I mean,
idea.
1.4 and Polar Cap and water shippers were sort of supposed to be roughly together, but then we ended up having to do some changes there. Sorry.
I think it's the second time from that user.
Nicole, can you resend that question, please?
Yes, please, Nicole. Sorry.
Ornamental pieces like wires and plants and stuff like that.
Oh, more ornamental pieces like wires and plants. Yeah.
Well, there's a different question.
Answer this and we'll catch up.
She got the same question because the tool won't let her.
Well,
so she has to
for the
send it
previous
once
for the previous question, yes,
Okay.
maybe, and then for NPCs and thralls,
I can't talk about it.
you can't talk about it.
No, we can't talk about it.
But yeah, we'll keep expanding with new placeables and
Potentially.
decoration pieces.
Alex, you've got the worst poker face in the world.
He does. You just watch Alex and you just know he's telling.
Put a ring on it.
Put on a ring on it. Right? Unbelievable.
Well, read between the lines if you want to.
Yes.
He's trying very
There's
hard.
chemistry here.
Routine Brush 6877. For self-hosted or private servers, would you allow us to tweak the launch strat point system to allow low population multiplayer?
Oh, there you go. That's a great
The
question.
count of
That is a
points
tremendous
needed to
question.
win a
That's
square.
interesting.
Yeah, I think we can do that.
Yeah.
Add it to Jira, put it in the backlog, and get the team
Make
to
a
fix it.
Jira,
Thank you.
get someone on it.
We're
but
good,
I
yeah.
can't promise
Make a
when.
task out of
Yeah, we
this.
don't know when, but I think it's a really reasonable question, and we should be
Yeah.
able to do it and add it to the server settings. Sure.
Oh, that'd be great to do it on the private servers. Same thing.
Next.
That's the exact
Whiskey
problem you have on
3.
private
Will
servers.
there be goals activities implemented into both the PvPDD and PvE Deep Desert to enhance that location and allow solo guilds to drive to new
I don't know what
goals
that
in
means.
that region?
I wonder if they know what that means.
Sorry, I'm trying to absorb the question.
What does he want?
Are you
Yeah.
asking that the goals are in both regions, so they're the same?
I got the feeling that they're asking for, will there be new things to do in the Deep Desert for PvE and for PvP for
Yes.
guilds to drive towards new goals? and do new
Sure,
stuff?
Players,
sure.
basically.
Yeah, sure. Absolutely.
5 more questions.
5 more questions.
5 more
Okay.
questions.
It's a lot of questions
Wow.
today. It's cool.
That's good. That's a lot.
there
I
you
mean,
go.
there's a lot of interest.
JN Kylus, last update gave us Suspenser NPCs. Can we expect even more variety? New NPCs with new combat mechanics and
I think this was a
also
repeat
new
question they missed
wildlife
earlier.
creatures. I like how Ule Andreas just immediately put the microphone in front of Alex.
Part of the answer to that question is yes. Another part is it's more expensive.
I'm gonna channel my inner Jeff G and be like, A new archetype for the polar cap, Alex? When?
When the polar cap goes up, maybe.
And one of the things that I've
A new
been
archetype.
pushing for us to look into is quadrupeds, so that we can have things like laser tigers and stuff. It's still
on the agenda now.
on the agenda, but it's
Wow.
going to get looked at some point.
At
So
some point.
yes,
Okay.
the plan.
So
is,
wow, but not
especially-
soon.
Look, if the game's going to be lasting 10 years, there'll be stuff there.
Rodak North, what are your thoughts on the current balance of the game and the augment grade system? Will any balance changes be made to
Yeah,
cool
they're
the power
they're
cap
looking at that all the
issues?
time, I bet.
So this is a pretty detailed conversation that needs to be had. We need to figure out and try to understand where we want to take the. Technically, you do. You need to figure out
With my
Yes.
my intelligent people,
absolutely with some advice and choose which way to direct the game.
mostly Andrew, not you.
I know. I just do stuff. It's fine. And figure out where we're going to take the game. And in terms of balance, that every piece of the progression, both itemization, personal character power, and even in some cases player ability to utilize the mechanics of the game, is going to get reviewed and adjusted for the place that the game is going to be in.
Yeah, I mean, it's also important to remember that we have telemetry on this. I understand that it's like power creep is always a concern, but it's a very, very, very small percentage of people who are really in the position where they've power crept too far out of the range, right? Like a lot of what we're doing is based around where people are at generally, not where people who spend a lot of time are. But with that said, I understand that in particular in PvP, power creep is going to be an issue. So
Yeah, and augments have increased the power quite a bit, so
Yeah.
it is something we're looking at for sure.
definitely.
The Big Mother Fook. Do you plan
Pole
on
arms.
adding any new weapon types? As an example, some Atreides troops in Dune Part 1 use pole arms, other weapon types like dual sword, spears, lances.
Look at Alex.
claps.
Yes.
What was the choice, Alex? I remember we had a discussion not that long ago, and it was like, "Hey, Joel, can we do pole arms or
What was the other
dual
thing?
daggers?"
Polearms, dual daggers, or something.
And I chose
like-
dual daggers.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah,
Yes.
we're talking about this stuff, new weapons. If you look at Conan Exiles, where we have this huge variety of weapons, that
pole
we've
arm
added
would be
over the years,
cool.
I think that's a safe assumption that we'll continue to add things like
It
weapons.
needs to be tasteful within the lore, and it needs to make mechanical sense to the experience that we're trying to deliver.
Yep.
So some extremes cannot really be looked at. For example, the things like two-handed massive swords just don't make sense.
The Berserk sword
Right.
won't be in Dune
Things that
Awakening,
are in the
probably.
films do make sense as long as we can find a valid gameplay space for them to occupy.
Yep, I think that's fair.
What a sophisticated answer. I like it.
Okay, Ganache
Oh, nice.
042. Any plans to add practice dummies so you could test your damage with or without upgrades, including different types of damage?
Yes.
Yes.
Plans to add
Cool.
this. I don't remember where it's scheduled for, but we're doing it.
Yeah, we're doing it.
So this is the last question.
That's a nice reveal.
Okay. Bumpra. Any chance to add roaming patrols or bandits in the deep desert or Haga basin?
So this is the story of it's very, very hard. No, you can't do it. And then
Yeah.
time progresses and things get massaged.
Yeah. So we've been told no, technically
Who
on
knows?
this
Who knows?
for many years. The reason being that like server optimization relies quite a lot on NPCs being awake and things like that, and it's yeah,
It gets messy quickly.
it's like NPCs are asleep when you're not nearby, right? In a multiplayer game. So let's imagine that there's an NPC patrolling from point A to point B, but you're not there, so they're asleep. So that you never see if they're patrolling anyway, because when you get to A, they wake up and you fight them, and then they're not there patrolling from point A to point B. And yes, you can simulate this in the background. I understand that people in the audience are telling me I'm stupid already. We know, but there's work to be done on all of these things.
I love it.
And yeah, it's never been the top priority. I wanted vehicle
It's a
patrols
good, honest
as well
answer,
that players
though.
ended up running into, and convoys of enemies and all sorts of things we wanted. Where we'll get to them is when we have a bit more time to sit back and look at where it's important for the game.
Cool, awesome. Well, that was the last question. So
That's pretty good.
Thank you very much, guys, for answering
Thank you.
everything, and thank you for
Tattoo
submitting
time?
and asking those
Are they
questions.
going to show the final results?
What we'll do in the next few days, we're gonna try to go back specifically to the Reddit thread we've created for this, and just put the answers there in writing as well,
nice.
so they're easily referenceable and you can find it.
So we
and
got kind of
share
a,
it
you know,
and
in-person AMA.
quote us on everything we've said.
And hold it
obviously.
against us forever.
Yeah, but we still got a couple of things we need to resolve. We have obviously gone over an hour, my initial estimate for this live stream. But Caroline has been busy in the background sketching the tattoos. So now we're gonna take a quick look on how many? 3, 4?
She's finishing it up, so it's not quite.
Okay,
there
she's
yet.
finishing it up.
Yeah.
Not a single problem.
She needs 1 minute.
She needs 1 minute.
1 minute.
Excellent. We can wait 1 minute. It's not gonna make a difference.
Any good Dune themed jokes?
If you're just joining, they had a poll
You
at the
were
very
the one
beginning
with
of
the
this
good jokes.
process
What I would
to
suggest,
choose a
maybe,
new
then, let's
tattoo
switch the
that's going to
order
go
a
into the
little
game
bit,
for characters.
because it is an
There were
anniversary,
4 options.
right? And,
Shai
I
Hulud
wouldn't
based, which is the one that people
anniversary
picked.
without a cake,
Muad'Dib,
right? And this
and
is
2 others
mainly
that didn't get
to,
picked.
you know, celebrate all of you guys and the community. We had our internal celebrations across the studios to kind of, you know, make this moment special, right? Game development, it's a collective effort. The nerds you're seeing over here is, you know, the tip of an iceberg. There is way more.
There's a whole
talented
building full of nerds.
people, colleagues,
Better
you know,
looking as well.
100% that are creating all of that content and making it happen and making sure that it's playable. And let's play the videos. Let's give them a bit of a cheer. We've asked everyone to wish you, the player community,
those
and
nice
the game
pieces.
happy birthday.
Lisbon.
In the meantime,
Very nice.
I'm gonna drink a little. Yes, we got a little cake. with-
Somebody got the swords in the background.
Try
Get
to
like that.
show it better to the camera.
They
There
have a
we go.
cake.
Dune Awakening.
Nice.
June
we
in
have
June.
we have to imagine that they're candles, but given of how much spice has been consumed, I think it's not gonna be a problem because I've been told we cannot have open fire in the office, otherwise we will have an abrupt finish of this live stream. But this is a cake for.
Sometimes it's better to ask for forgiveness than permission. I'm just letting you know.
Yeah, I didn't want to risk it for this one, you know.
He's
But,
Australian,
yeah,
isn't he?
I mean,
Yeah.
we wouldn't have been here without you, and we appreciate every single player in our community. I could speak at length, but I think Joel, maybe if there is anything he would want to convey to our players.
Yeah, I think I talked to the devs earlier today, and I teared up a little bit when I was talking about it. But like, look, there was a moment last year. Like, games are hard. Game development's hard, really hard. Like it's a hard profession to be in. You see the industry, you see where things are going. Like, people are, you know, losing their jobs, and last year there was a moment when Dune was launching, and I know, by the way, like I don't know how else to say it, but Dune is the best game that Funcom's ever made, in my opinion. I think like the team has been phenomenal. The people that I've had the privilege of working with for the last few years on this project have been amazing people. I think that with, you know, COVID happening and a lot of remote work type things coming in and Funcom expanding at the same time into many offices, there's been a lot of challenges on Dune. And I think as a project, what it came together to make was something special. And the people who worked on it were special people. And then last year, and then there was this, we had this long beta, and the people that we met in the beta were also awesome people, like special people who helped us to make the game better, right? And then the game had its early advanced access, I think it's called, 5th to the 10th, right? And it was going really well. It was going great. People were excited. The game, you know, was I think we had an 89% Steam rating
Great
at some
launch.
point there. And there was just this moment of relief. I think like our hearts were full. Our community was amazing. Our players were giving us positive feedback. The journalists were writing nice articles about us. Everything looked to be great. and on track. And we thought, okay, maybe this is going to be, the success we need it to be for us. And Funcom's had its ups and downs over the years, and I was so excited. I was so top of the mountain for a little while, and then people started to report problems. People started to report bugs, and I think everybody is correct, right? There were things wrong with the game, things that needed to be fixed, and it sort of blew the wind out of the sails, right, of the team in the sense that we sort of sunk into this kind of oh shit, there's all these problems we need to fix. And the thing that I'm very proud of as a team is that people just rolled up their sleeves and got on with it, and we fixed the game, and we've been working on it for a year. And but the thing through all of that, through the feeling that things aren't going great, through watching, negative Steam reviews from people playing, hundreds of hours. And I have this exercise. I try to empathize and understand why people who've played the game for such a long time don't like it anymore. And I really understand, I think. I see that people are just you know what, I played this game a lot. I gave it my all, and the devs didn't make decisions that I wanted them to make, or they pushed the game in a direction that I didn't like. And look, man, I feel that. I feel it. So through all of that, through the dev team, and we had some layoffs last year as well, through all of these things that I feel are just devastating to a development team, we had these people, this community, this backbone of people playing Dune Awakening who are just wonderful, awesome people who I love and respect. And I thank you all, everybody who's been a part of Dune Awakening, whether you hate us and left us a negative review on Steam, whether you love us and have given us positive reviews or have been there since day one, whether you're in our betas, whether you're a new player who picked up the game last week, I just want to say thank you, right? We don't do this, we don't work this hard on these things for just ourselves. It's for you as well. And this is a shared experience in a multiplayer game, even though we're adding a single player mode. This is a shared experience for all of us. So for me, it's just a heartfelt thank you. Thank you to the Dune Awakening community, and thank you to all of you for being with us on this journey, and the ups and the downs. And we're going to try and do our best and do better for you. That's all I can offer, right? So thank you.
Thank you.
Fair enough, man.
Well
Yes.
said.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Fair.
Yep. And now that I've said my awkward piece, and
Yes. It wasn't awkward. I think it was beautiful.
yeah.
I
It's hard.
appreciate the directness.
That was honest.
Yeah, I mean,
That sounded honest.
Right.
He doesn't always
I mean, we're
talk
real
right to the
people,
camera and the
It's
people.
not like we.
Last I checked.
Last I checked, yeah. And Funcom is probably less corporate than most places, I think. Otherwise, I wouldn't have a job.
They've done a great job, I think.
It's allowed to be a human.
You're gonna show her screen, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you're the production master. You do it the way it works. What we want to see is obviously what Caroline has been working hard throughout the live stream, so we can give you guys
Ooh.
the
that's cool.
options
Oh, wow.
for
Yeah.
voting. So we have 3 tattoos. On
Oh, there's a whole other round of
Nice.
Look at that middle
take
one.
it.
Holy moly.
I'm torn between 1 and 2 myself.
Yeah, I really
think you
like
gotta
number
spin
1,
around.
but number 2 is really bold. I like that one as well. Getting
Is the community voting on this one?
Yeah.
Yes, the
Nicole's gonna
polls
set up a poll now.
are being set up, right?
Good job, Carolina.
She can now show herself on stream because now she's done with the
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Everything's according to the plan. Everything's according to the plan. For everyone else, Caroline is just sitting right over there, so sometimes you could see us glancing over in that direction. This is exactly for that, but Caroline,
she's in the same
welcome
area.
back. You've been hard at work for all this time, and I mean, those sketches are looking pretty fucking sick.
Thank you. I had a lot of fun actually. I've wanted to do a childhood tattoo for a little while, so this was very fun.
Very
That's
nice.
also something internally people have been poking you about, right?
Yeah. I think it's been the most requested one.
Number 2 is pretty intense. Definitely looks like Shai Hulud,
Yeah,
like a
we're gonna
worm.
let people vote. We might take the top 2 options and basically work on them a little bit more. And then after,
And
a week
then
or a week and a half,
release them both. How about
we
that? Because
will
they're pretty
share
much
them,
close to done.
with you.
Just give them to us.
Either through CommuniNet Signal or through our socials or Discord, and basically run another poll to decide which one of those do we want to finalize.
Don't throw away
and
Carolyn's work.
basically get
Release it.
through the entire production process. So right now we're simply eliminating one of those options that we would like to discard at this point. So whenever the polls are ready,
1
Yeah.
minute.
1 minute. Okay,
I can
no
just
problem.
give some information maybe.
Yeah,
about
go
the
ahead,
tattoos.
please.
Why
Of
don't you talk
course.
us through it? Yeah.
Yeah,
Sorry.
so whichever one we pick in the end will have a final design that will wrap around the entire neck or the head, depending on the design. Like, for example, 2, they will probably stretch along to the back, and then both 1 and 3 will have it go around the neck. So just to save some time, I decided to only focus on the front for now.
Interesting.
And then,
That's why they're not shown.
2's concept is maybe obviously Shia LaBeouf's teeth kind of encapsulating and eating your face. And then 3 is more of a, like it's matching
it.
a sleeve tattoo that we already have of a Shia LaBeouf wrapping around the arm. And then 1 is a more abstract concept.
Oh, so 3 will match
Two
up
reminds
with...
me of like, it's also a reference to
look like
God
one.
Emperor, right? Like
Sorry,
where
there.
Leto is inside.
Right.
He's a worm.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, God Emperor.
Yeah, yeah.
2 is a good God Emperor tattoo, in my opinion. Very cool.
Well, that's like putting your thumb on a
So
scale,
while
John.
we're waiting for the polls to finish, obviously in-game celebration is one thing, but we also will be running little raffles on our Discord server. So starting this Friday for the next few weeks to coincide with everything that is going on in the game, we'll be running raffles for one of the murals that we've been distributing,
Okay.
I think last year through the Discord quest system. So right now we're actually free to start giving it out. And that's exactly what we want to do. So if you don't have it yet in your collection, that will be an opportunity for you to every week have a chance to get a code for that. And this will all be happening on the official Dune Awakening Discord server. So make sure to keep an eye on our community announcements, and we're gonna get them there. And I can see with the corner of my eye, I got a thumbs up from Ignacy, which can only mean that the polls are ready. We've calculated the votes.
Come on, out with it.
Option 1 has gotten 53%
53% for option 1.
on Twitch and 46% on YouTube, so it's the winner.
Okay.
Interesting.
YouTube.
Option 3 is the second choice with
Okay.
29 and 29.
Oh,
All right.
nice.
So
Option 1, clear
they
winner.
rejected 2?
one, number 3, those will be the ones.
1, 3, and 2 are the.
That's the order. Yeah. So.
Well, there you go, Joel. You expressed your preference for 2, and the community
God
rejected
Emperor
it.
anyway. It's fine.
maybe later.
If he
Maybe
wants
at
it,
the
it'll be in the
end,
game
that's
anyway.
But yeah, then 1, 3, basically Caroline will continue working on them
No, Joel's going to say do them
offline
all.
for the next few days or a week, whatever, and then we'll get back to you and we'll let you vote for that. But yeah, definitely let us know how did you like the live stream? How did you like designing a tattoo? I think this is something we would certainly like to do more. There's plenty of cool things we can do together.
It did a good job.
Share your feedback, send it over to us across Reddit, Discord, social media, you name it.
I'm going to take a quick break after they wrap up here.
But on the behalf
Try to get into
of
the game and see if I can
everyone
find the
here
cosmetic
at
items that are there
Funcom,
right away.
Thank
But
you very
it'll
much
be a couple
for
minutes.
tuning in. Thank you very much for playing Dune Awakening. There's a lot of cool stuff in the works planned for everyone in the next months and years. So stay tuned. We're far from done. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you next time, whenever that's gonna be.
Happy
Thank you.
1 year anniversary.
Happy 1 year
1 year
anniversary.
anniversary.
And thanks, Alex, for making it today, being
Oh,
on
I'm
time.
sorry.
Cool.
Very nice. Let me kill this. turn that back on. Like I said, I'm going to take a couple minute break here, and I'm going to try to get the game back up, and I'm going to go into the game and see if I can find the cosmetics right away.
I dream of it, amongst the wild threads of history and the myriad of paths.
Okay, there was a tiny update as soon as I was coming back in. It was kind of cool, actually. Let me see if my mic's back up. Dune Awakening has reached its first anniversary. Celebrate with us in-game from June 8th to July 10th. Log in each week to collect every piece of the Contemplation Tea House decorative set. Additionally, claim the Master Operative in Dune's light armor variant. Rewards granted by logging in will be immediately available. Enjoy a variety of weekend boosts. We already talked about that. Very good. Yeah, that's fine. Oh, hold on. And we've got patch notes for 1.400. We already had these, right? Arrakis, Old Quarry. I'm going to go ahead and close that one out, too. A second here. They probably don't need my singing, but that's okay. It's going to happen anyway. So just as a recap, what were the notes that I took there? This is we were expecting 1.4.10. That went into the PTC today. And so there's some upgrades and optimizations. And I think the 5 new Landsrads are in there in the future, late June. And then they said later, early July, 1.510, which is a bunch of quality of life stuff. And we're starting to preview the other goodies. Yeah, so I haven't actually, there's my Harrier. I haven't actually been back out to the deep desert today. Need to go out and rebuild my base, and looks like my power is running down too. We're gonna have to take a look at that real quickly. Let's go see if we can, oh, actually, right off the bat, it was a light armor variant. think I'm in a still suit right now. Yeah, hold on. Let's this is my desert gear. Let's go find some light armor. Pretty sure. Do I have pincushion? Idaho strike. Yeah, this is all light. I think this is all light. Yep. Let's go ahead and swap into this stuff. See if we can just change the variance on it and see what it looks like. Okay, that's all right. What do we have? Master Operative Dune goggles. Okay, check that out. Okay, I don't really want to see all that stuff. There we go. All right. I have the helmet turned off. It's not terrible. Master Operative Dune trousers. Master Operative Dune gloves. A little bit of a delay. There you go. Hands are exposed. That's cool. And what do the boots look like? Zoom back out. And let's go out here and get some light here and see what we've got. Oh, it's going to be super bright. It's not bad. It's kind of an interesting, yeah, Master Operative, kind of a casual, I don't want to say rogue, but kind of a casual adventurer set. Actually, let me turn this on too. Hold on, let me do this. Let's turn the helmet back on. That's not bad. Not bad at all. Oh, I can't, sorry, I can't face myself from the front if I'm carrying a weapon. So that's pretty nice. And then I guess the next question is going to be, I mean, I have a little bit of space in here. I don't know if, what did we get as far as new sets go? This is under furniture. There is the Contemplation Tea House countertop. It's furniture. I don't know if I have a place for this. I don't have enough space in this little spot here. I'm just going to put it there for lack of a better place. Kind of cool. Oh, so the stuff is already on top of it. And the plates are there, so you don't have to actually put plates and things like that, but we're going to get more of those later. And is there another... Yeah, stop that. Is there another item? Do we get an item that's up top? I don't see any other new items, is the problem. Maybe we're not going to get the other piece or the top half of it until... So this is the contemplation piece. I don't seem to have a search option here either. Otherwise, I would definitely do the search option. But still, we've got some new gear. I don't know that those are. I don't know how that other half is gonna show up. It is built with granite. Only 50 granite. Pretty easy to build. So that's nice. But, you know, we can have a little tea service here in our little lounge too. That's kind of nice. And then we'll probably get some items that we can set up there too. So that's it. So that's a pretty big announcement. Pretty cool. You know, first anniversary. A lot has changed in the first year of the game, and you know, there's a lot going on, a lot more to do. I'm looking at. New decree has been issued. Who was it? Looks like we have vehicle import rights. So we'll go up and we'll see the Landsrad vendor for that as well. We're already starting to get these out. Sounds like there's going to be some new stuff. I might go in and play on the test realm a little bit later, see if there's some content that we can do, and I'll maybe do a live stream on that. But otherwise, thanks for joining so much. If you're still here and you haven't hit the like button or subscribe, please do so. You can find me at Kineer on YouTube / Kineer Kai on Twitch. Thanks so much. We'll catch you on the next one. Thanks.